We back. But you already know what time it is.
Oh, you didn't know?
50-50.
Welcome to the 50-50 Show with PharoahNFL and the Severe Raider, the realest show for Raider Nation.
The perpetuation of the greatness of the Raiders to take a professional football team and give it a distinct characteristic that's different from all others.
Make sure to clock in, like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell.
Man, you haven't already, make sure to clock in, hit that like button, hit that subscribe, hit that notification bell. Well, hold up. The sound good? All right, sound good. All right, cool.
They said they could hear it.
Okay, it might have been the intro. So
okay, bet.
Whew, man. It's been it's been rough, man, with these technical difficulties, man. But we got it going. We got it working today, man. But we appreciate everybody coming through. Make sure to clock in, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, man. We are back, man. Another edition of the 50-50 Show. My guy, the Severe Raider, obviously myself, PharoahNFL. We are going live on both our channels. So if you haven't already, make sure to clock in, man. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. We got a lot to talk about, man. That we're gonna talk about that Mendoza and Moore reaction, Indiana versus Oregon game that happened last Friday. I'm sure you guys already kind of talked about it, already heard about it, but we're gonna talk about it today. We obviously the news with some of these coaching, the coaching cycle. I'm not gonna lie, it's way better than it was last year, and that's a very good sign for the Raiders. Very good sign for them, especially because going into it, we were kind of like, who can they kind of convince to bring into obviously as Raider fans, we feel like we got a lot to offer, but the reality is that, like, the way they've kind of gotten rid of coaches the last few years, it makes you wonder, like, would that affect the decision making? But having the number one pick helps. It does help a little bit. So, for sure, man. We appreciate everybody coming through. LS in the building says Mike Tomlin would have me on the verge of handing in my fan card. Of hiring Mike Tomlin? Hiring him? Is that what you mean? I've been through too much for that.
I think so. I think you'd hire him.
I think we're on the same page. Not anything against Mike Tomlin or even Harbaugh. It's just I just don't think it's a good fit. But we'll get into that conversation of, like, Harbaugh, Tomlin. If you guys haven't heard, Tomlin recently resigned, stepped down after they lost that game this weekend, the Steelers. Against the Texans, man, it was a 7-6 game, first three quarters, and out of nowhere, they dropped 23 in the fourth, and it was game over after that. So
a wrap.
It was a wrap. Yeah, man.
Shouldn't have been that close, though. Shouldn't have been that close, man. CJ, I think she's like 4 fumbles or something crazy like that, like something insane.
Yeah.
Lost 2 or something like that.
Right away says silent intro. Yeah, we're trying something new, man. It's the off-season edition, man. So we're gonna quietly open the shows. No, I was playing. Nah, man, chill right in the building, man. Appreciate you coming through. Arkham Raider in the building, man. Haven't seen you in a while, man. Appreciate you coming through. We got everybody pulling up today. Arkham says Mendoza over Moore. Okay. Yeah, man. I mean, I can't argue with you after the last game.
I'm not gonna let one game change my opinion, though.
Yeah. And I know you said that before the game, but my opinion was still the same before the game.
Yeah, exactly. Your opinion was the same before the game, so like your opinion wasn't changing regardless.
It wasn't. But the thing is, though, I did mention that, like, it's a close enough decision where, like, games like this could sway you a little bit because the game itself kind of checks a lot of boxes in that, like, it's a playoff game, it's a big game, good competition. You know what I mean? Like, there's going to be situational football in that game that you're going to use to evaluate the quarterback. So it could sway you in that way because a lot of things are happening in that game. Now, if it was a regular season game, it really wouldn't matter like that against any other, like, lowly opponent. Yeah, it wouldn't matter. Yeah. But it's just so many things get checked off in this game. And it's the last game for one of the guys that you could evaluate.
Exactly.
So, you know what I'm saying? So,
I mean, what it showed me is reinforced what I've been saying, and people tried to deny it, and it's always because Oregon, because Indiana's a much better team top to bottom, and they're coached much better than Oregon. I mean, that was
Salute.
pretty plain to see.
Salute. Appreciate everybody pulling up.
Salute to you, my guy.
Salute. RU Ken says, rather have Youngblood than Tomlin, to be honest. We need a fresh. Hey, man, I like when we all on the same page. Look, I guess you want to. I guess we can start off. We'll start off with Mendoza and Moore, right? So last week, it was a big game. It was Oregon versus Indiana, round 2, part 2, and Indiana just. They came, they saw, and they conquered, man. They dominated. So yeah, and man, if you weren't if you weren't sure about Mendoza, I mean, he went out there, he threw like 5 touchdowns, a lot of turnovers by like Oregon, especially Dante Moore. I want to put it all on him as far as one of the turnovers was like, the running back,
Two of them was his though. 2 of them were his for sure.
Yeah, but
and that led to 21 points.
Exactly. At the end of the day, like this, yeah. So it's a tough situation, but at the end of the day, like it just looked like Moore was a little overwhelmed, just overall from like Indiana being so good early on, especially, bro. First throw of the game, like that set the tone right there. It was just like he took the. Bro,
Aaron Throw first start of the game. It was like, I was like, man. But then, like, what did he do though? How did he respond?
He responded.
Beautiful drive.
Yeah,
beautiful drive with some beautiful throws, beautiful touchdown pass. That was a pro level throw over the middle of the field. But like I said, bro, like this just showed me, and like anybody that's trying to deny it now, you're just hating. Indiana is a much better team. The defensive line is much better. Its offensive line is much better. Better backfield, better weapons overall. Every time Moore's making a big throw, who was it to? It was to the tight end.
But Oregon is a good team too. They're literally 1 game away from the national championship game.
They've only lost 2 games all year. Both to Indiana.
Indiana's
the better team.
Yeah,
and it's not even close. Like Indiana is the better team by leaps and bounds.
Well, they beat them twice in 2 games. So of course.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, just overall, just from top to bottom, just look what they just did to Alabama. Look what they've been doing to everybody. They've been doing that. So it's not just Oregon. They've been doing that to everybody. So you look at it, and they were overmatched. And where they won the game, where they really controlled it, was in the trenches. Mendoza was rarely pressured at all, and Dante Moore was getting pressured quite regularly. And so it was just a different game. Up front they dominated. Dante Moore was down his left tackle, his right tackle, down to his 5th string running back. But at the end of the day, he had 3 turnovers that led to 3 touchdowns. Like, you give up 23 points as a quarterback, like that's a bad game. He just had a bad game. It is what it is what it is. But like I said, there's a talent disparity between those 2 teams. People are looking at the name or of the universities and not the players, or they're looking at the stars. Like if we're looking strictly at stars to determine talent, then everybody should want Dante Moore because he was a 5-star and Fernando Mendoza was a 2-star. So stars aren't the end all be all. Stars are just what gets you in the door a lot of times. A lot of that is politics and like what school you go to and how connected you are, and if you show up to these camps and these all-star games. A lot of that goes into stars, and a lot of kids aren't doing that. So, like, our number 1 overall pick last year was a 0-star recruit. The guy that we just talked about that lost the playoff game last night, Aaron Rodgers, he was a 0-star recruit. He had to go the JUCO route. So, like, stars aren't the end-all be-all.
It's not,
but a 2nd-round pick was a 2-star.
Yeah, it's not the end-all. It's not the end-all be-all. But when you have a lot of of highly rated prospects coming out of high school, that helps with that helps with the talent of the team. You know what I mean? Now, are there going to be guys that don't live up to it? For sure. There's plenty of examples of guys that didn't live up to like them coming out, and then there's going to be guys that are going to be walk-ons. Like we could talk about a lot of guys who were just come in, they walk on, they impress the coaching staff, they take there's going to be examples of guys who just come out of nowhere, or they weren't highly recruited. There's always going to be examples of that. But I think that in years past, I think stuff like that did matter. because I think it's a matter of a numbers game. Now though, I think it's changed. I think Cignetti might have figured out like a little.
Crack the code.
He might have
Crack the code.
He might have cracked the code a little bit,
Exactly.
especially with the older guys. Like he'll
Exactly.
yeah.
But why? See, what's good about that is that that's something that before recently you really couldn't do that, because the transfer portals always existed, but before, if you move schools, you have to sit out a year, or you have to burn like a redshirt year. Now you can. There's a lot more player mobility, so he can get these transfer guys that are obviously that are more mature, more developed, more used to like college coaching, and put that together with his system. And you got a quarterback like Mendoza, who's a very good quarterback. And then like all of that melds together, and that's what leads to such a dominant team. Like perfect example, both the Oregon starting corners were freshmen. Like they're both freshmen going against two receivers that are about to be like Elijah Surratt's about to be a second round pick. Cooper is probably going to be like a late third, fourth round pick. So like I got two freshman corners going against two NFL wide receivers. So talent level, will those guys one day be very good players? I'm sure they will be, right? Oregon does a good job of recruiting and coaching guys up, but right now there's two freshman guys playing two NFL guys. So that stuff matters. And that's where Cignetti is so smart, was that he gets guys that maybe not the highest level of talent, but if they're mature and they take the coaching and they can execute a scheme, he can make it work. And then you mix that with a quarterback that's going to play great in pressurized situations and execute when it matters. Then you have everything you need to be a dominant team. And that's why they could be the very first team ever to go undefeated throughout the entire season.
Yeah, but I think too that's a credit to them, because they're finding hidden gems. They're finding.
Oh yeah, definitely.
They're finding guys that no one else is talking about. They're taking guys that fit their system. Almost kind of like, it's almost like they're it's almost like in the NFL, like when teams are drafting their guys and they're looking for guys that fit their system. Yeah, and they're applying the same
model. Model.
Exactly.
They want you gotta be this height if you're at this. But perfect example is Mendoza.
Yeah.
Mendoza wasn't super highly regarded out of Cal. When I already said, I think he was a 2-star recruit or something like that. But they saw something in Mendoza, and his play at Cal was like, man, we get this guy over here. We get him behind this offensive line. We put him with some weapons. Oh, I see. Oh man, look at these back shoulder throws. Oh, they don't got really guys at Cal that can really execute that like I do over here. Okay, bam. Okay, I'm gonna get him over here. Play to his strengths. He's super accurate. Oh, okay, bam. He likes to run these likes to throw outside the numbers, like to throw deep, likes to throw the back shoulder. Oh, bam. I got guys that are perfect for him. You put him in that system and he executes under pressure. Oh, damn. Well, there you have it. And that's the recipe for having, a Heisman Trophy quarterback and an undefeated season.
Yeah, man. But at the end of the day, man, I think, I don't know if we can all agree. I know you're a big Dante Moore fan, but as far as you've been following along for a while and you believe in the talent and believe in it, but to me, I've said that, Mendoza is like the safer guy. Yeah. You know what I mean? He's the high floor guy. He's the guy that's checked. He keeps checking every box. And he's playing great football right now. He's playing great football. And we'll see what he does against Miami. I think that's going to be a good test for that offensive line for Indiana. I want to see. To be honest with you, hopefully he does get pressured. I want to see how he handles pressure, because that's one thing that I kind of noticed with him that I'm not 100% sure is his ability to feel pressure and how does he deal with it. You know what I mean? There was that moment. I know you said that, Oregon wasn't really pressuring him like that, but there were moments where they did, and I think there was a turn. He ended up fumbling, getting the ball back. But when he got fumbled, but I think it was his blind side, so I'll give him a break there. I think he got hit, he got fumbled, but it's still, it's still those are valid criticism questions, but at the end of the day, I think he's going to be the number one pick. It is, I don't see the Raiders not drafting him. It'd be hard, but it's going to be a long evaluation process. But you know what I thought was funny, and I know that we didn't include this in flagging and play today, but it's definitely honorable mention is Todd McShay. Todd McShay, literally in the same week, he's all like, if I had to choose a number one pick and you told me I had to put all my job on the line, I'm paraphrasing here. He says, I'm going with Dante Moore. And then he just starts going off a list of reasons why he's going with Dante Moore and, his potential, his ceiling, whatever the case may be, right? And then literally after the game, Dante Moore needs to stay another year. He should not come out. He should stay another year. I'm like, what happened to him? Yeah. The whole narrative changed. The whole narrative changed. I think part of it is like, all right, he had to jump ahead of it and try to, I don't know, control the narrative. And he's putting out content. You got to make sure people understand where, But it was kind of, I don't know, man. McShay's kind of questionable, man. He's questionable, and it's been other moments
coward.
too. Yeah,
it's cowardice, bro. Like I said, I'm gonna stand 10 toes down. I said before the game, I'm not gonna be prisoner of the moment. I'm not gonna let one game change my whole evaluation of two guys I've watched, went back and watched. Right, I'm not gonna let one game decide that. Especially when I already said that, like year one, I think Fernando Mendoza is a better player.
Yeah,
that's been established. I've said that already. So I really wasn't gonna let like one game decide the fate of my franchise. Like that would be foolish. But there's a lot that goes into these evaluations. A lot that I've seen from each guy. Each guys have their pros. Each guy has their cons. I think at the end of the day, and we look up 3 years from now, I think Dante Moore is gonna be the better player. And that's not to say Fernando Mendoza won't be a really good player. I think he will be. I just think Dante Moore will be the better player.
Yeah, LS says Amalian Pregon out of Oregon. Austin Cerebrum will be tackle at LSU, but I think will be a guard. Okay, these are guys that you're looking at. I know that Pregon dude.
Interior guys, yeah.
Yeah, if they're there in the second round, man, I'm not gonna lie. I think Pregon probably gonna go in the first. I've seen some mocks right now. It's early, you know what I mean. We don't know what's gonna happen, but I think a lot of people right now have him going in the first round. But if he's there in the second. And I'm hoping the Raiders pick at the top of the first, just so they can get like the best players that are available from that first round. Because we know after every first round, there's going to be a few guys. Oh, they don't.
They don't pick at the top of the second because they won that game. So that game, like, it's weird. Like they winning that Chiefs game, like it gave us the number one overall pick, but for some reason, like in subsequent rounds, we're not picking at the top.
Okay. Yeah, we're going to have to take a look at that. I mean, if they're not picking at the top, would they pick number 2?
I don't remember. I had to look. I looked around that time, too. I forgot what it is.
Man, that sucks. That sucks. I mean, at the end of the day, like, there's going to be guys available, but it's just like, man, like Raiders, we need it. We need as much talent as we can. So if a guy like Pregon is available, to me, that's an easy, no-brainer decision. I'm not going to lie. What would make it tough is if, like,
a number one receiver is there.
Yeah, if Denzel Boston is there and it's Pregon, I'm like, oh man, that's tough. I have to go Denzel, but
yeah,
but because the only reason why I say I have to go Denzel because I'm in the assumption that the Raiders are going to be super aggressive in free agency to upgrade the offensive line, and Caleb Rogers and Grant have kind of flashed a little bit, but not enough where you can't be aggressive in free agency. Like you have to get like a couple of guys, whether it's an interior or not whether it's like hopefully
we're at 36. Somebody said in the chat 36.
36? Hold up. What's the first pick? First was the 33 is the first pick?
33.
I mean it's not bad. Third pick.
So fourth.
Oh, that's the fourth pick. Okay, 33, 34, 34, 35, 36. Damn. Oh, that is ugly. Damn, man. They should just kept Kenny Pickett should have been playing the whole game. The whole game.
Yeah.
Man. Oh, all right. That's a whole, yeah. Yeah, I don't even want to get into that get into that. But yeah, man. To me, obviously, last game you don't want to base it off all in one.
When I was playing, y'all. Carroll got his win.
I know, right? But all right, well, just I guess the last thoughts on the Mendoza and Moore thing is, to me, it just solidified Mendoza. You know, it just makes him now like if he throws like 7 interceptions. This next game, I'm not gonna base it off one game, but it would have been like it would you know what it would do though? I don't think that it should change your view on Mendoza, but it also will bring the reality of Mendoza, what he could possibly be. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Where it's like, all right. Because right now, everybody is like riding the Mendoza wave right now. It's like, oh man, this guy. I've heard people. You sent me something where a dude was comparing him to Peyton Manning. I'm like, oh, okay, calm down. Calm down.
This was gonna be flag on the play. I was gonna send you this because this was like a crazy flag on. It was a crap flag. Like, getting in the comments was wild, but it was like there's like, oh, it's like look at Fernando Mendoza and Joe Burrow. Their stats are eerily similar, and then it's like swipe for their stats, and it's like Joe Burrow threw for like 2,000 more yards and like 20 more. It was like higher completion percentage. I was like, come on, like don't say their stats are eerily similar.
He did have like 200, I think, more attempts than him, but I'm not gonna lie.
But he threw for a higher percentage. So like, if anything, you threw for more attempts, you should throw for a lower percentage.
Yeah. No. And I'm not even doubting. I mean, Joe Burrow is Joe Burrow. Like at the end of the day, but he did have the two best receivers in the NFL right now.
Yeah, not this year. JSN was the best this year, but yeah.
Well,
they had 2 top 5 guys.
What? Okay. What? Would you move Jefferson down to number 3?
Yeah, just based on this year, yeah, probably. I mean, yeah.
But I'm just saying, Jamar Chase and Jefferson are your two. That's like, I know we kind of say like, oh yeah, this team has 2 number 1s, but literally, he had like 2 dominant number 1s. Jamar Chase is a dominant number 1. Jefferson is a dominant number 1. He had him at LSU, and like he took advantage of it. And like, I'm not taking away anything from Burrow. You know what I mean? But I just don't like, sometimes people can get carried away with that. Oh, but he had this guy. He played with this much talent. Yeah. I think you should find other ways to evaluate the player outside of him. Now, you could say like, man, he succeeded despite not having something. I think that's kind of a good way to look at certain things, but you still have to find other ways to like kind of like figure out if a player is good or not, because you can't just say, oh, he had a good offensive line or he had good weapons. You got to figure out if he has some transferable skills, right? You got to see if he could be successful long term, right? So,
yes, the thing about Burrow is that it's like what you have to look at when they have those level of weapons. First of all, you have to look at the ball placement. Like, is it just like they're just making circus catches and bailing this guy out, like, you know, or is it him like delivering the ball where it needs to be? Also, Burrow's anticipation, like his ability to throw guys open, like that was next level. You know, that's still stuff we haven't seen consistently from Fernando Mendoza. You've seen Fernando Mendoza when he sets his feet, he's super accurate. Like I told you in the chat, like or you know on DM, like those deep out routes, those are some of the toughest throws like you can make, and he was delivering those things like, you know, on time and super accurately. But that's still a see it, throw it type route, you know, when he was doing it. So you want to see a situation where, like he anticipates a guy being open. Like before a guy's open, he's throwing, you know, because he knows
he's done that a few times. He's done that a few times.
Yeah. And I'm not saying he's not doing it or that he can't do it, but like it's consistently.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's not about what you see a guy do once. You know, you want to see somebody do it consistently. But the fact that you have seen him do it once, or, you know, a few times, a handful of times, that lets you know, okay, it's there. We just have to expand upon it. But Joe Burrow, that's something Joe Burrow was doing with regularity, like throughout the entire season. So
and Joe Burrow might be an exception, but then I can see why people can compare Burrow to Mendoza in this way, is that they had a huge season, huge Heisman-worthy season, and then they're going into draft. They're going to be number 1 pick. And then if you look at it, Burrow, he's not like a super traits guy. You know what I mean? He doesn't have like a big arm. He's not super athletic, but he checks every box though. He has a good enough arm. He can make all the throws. You could probably say his anticipation is probably elite. You know what I mean? His mobility is good. It gets the job done. He can hurt you with his legs, but not like he's not Josh Allen. He's not Lamar Jackson or whatever. And that's kind of like where Mendoza is. And Mendoza kind of like, I'm not gonna lie, like he's doing it against like, you know, good competition. At first, I was seeing it like kind of pop up. Like I remember I sent you a clip of him at Cal. I'm like, man, he kind of separating a little bit. But
nah.
And then
he's
that
underrated athlete.
Underrated. And the thing is, that just makes me even more comfortable. Like, all right, cool. You know what I mean? That's not going to be his game, but he could. Yeah. If it's there, he has that ability to take it. Yeah. You know,
you gotta respect him as a runner.
Yeah.
And so that's one thing. Yeah. I think it's big. Well, he had 2 big runs. I think the one run where he was like, only person chasing him was the D tackle, and I was like, this is like as he saw he pulling away from the D tackle, like it's him all the space by himself. Then the other run though, where he was like. He had some he's navigating through the trash. He broke for some yardage.
Yeah.
And then he tried to put a little sauce on it.
Yeah.
And then he fumbled. So that's the situation where that's what I tell people, like he fumbled twice in that game. We look at Dante Moore. Dante Moore had 3 turnovers, and that's bad.
Yeah.
Fernando Mendoza fumbled twice too in a game where he basically wasn't really pressured. So, he had those 2 fumbles, and I think on the one play he fumbled twice. He picked up his own fumble and then like didn't throw it away and like fumbled again. I think the same offensive lineman recovered both of them. So it could have been, he still would have had a great game because how efficient he was throwing the ball, but he could have also had, multiple turnovers in that game too. So, but I was talking to somebody and, just to kind of put a pin in this because I see it's funny because I see some people in the chat, they're like, I don't care what Mendoza does in the championship game. He's my guy. But it's like, but Dante Moore didn't play well this last game, and now he's like not the guy. We can't draft him at all. So it's funny the double standard. But I'll put people to this because whether that's Moore in this game or Fernando Mendoza goes out and struggles against Miami, Sean McVay's last game as an offensive coordinator, I think in the must-win game, against a divisional opponent, he only scored 10 points. On offense. His offense only scored 10 points, and as a result, his team was eliminated from the playoffs. Yet and still, the Rams saw his offense struggled in a must-win game to get into the playoffs, and they still hired him because they didn't let that last game dictate what they saw from him overall as effective head coach. So I just warn people, a lot of people, they love to be just prisoner of the moment, and, calm it down.
I hear you, but I still think that like last game was like a big, like they're gonna use that as an example to evaluate Dante Moore, and it's a big piece to it because, like I said, it checks. I'm just saying, like it's like, what are you looking for? What are you looking for? Competition. Okay, competition. Okay, you're looking for big moments. Okay, big moments. Playoff game. Okay, you're looking for how does he deal with pressure? Okay, like how does he deal with adversity? Like all these things are happening in the game. I think that's going to be a big game that's going to come up. Especially he played him twice, but especially that game because it was literally the game right before the reason why I say this is because we use it against other QB prospects. I mean, I don't want to compare Dante Moore to like a lesser quarterback, but like for example, Drew Allar, people question him like in big games, like he doesn't like show up. Like that's something about him, right? So that's something that people use. But I hear what you're saying. You want to use a bigger sample size before you could.
Especially when he just played the game. That's what I'm saying. Like it's different circumstances where it's like where he's down 2 starting tackles, he's down to his 5th string running back. He's also playing even if he has his 2 starting tackles. I still think Indiana has a better front. I've been saying this. This is not stuff. It's like prisoner of the moment type stuff where I'm trying to have revisionist history. I've been saying this the entire time. People just didn't want to listen, or they want to deflect. They think I'm just trying to grade them on the curve. Oh, I still think Fernando Mendoza is a fantastic prospect, but I think he's on a much better team. And I think that people don't want to give that team the credit because it's Indiana or because the guys don't have the stars. Like, Kursignetti is operating at a different level, along with Fernando Mendoza, right? They're both doing fantastic things.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're giving the other guys a lot of credit. Like, the game before this game, didn't like an offensive lineman win player of the game against Alabama? Like,
I think Mendoza's. I think Indiana was good before Mendoza got there, but I think Mendoza took him to another level. Like,
yeah, I agree with that. But this is also their second year in the system. So last year was Kursignetti's first year. So it's also their second year in that system. And a lot of those guys he brought with him, he brought from James Madison. So this was their first year playing Big Ten football. Now those same guys, this is not a shot to them what Big Ten football is. It's Big Ten. Now they're Big Ten players. You add that, plus you add a quarterback the caliber of Fernando Mendoza. That's how you go undefeated throughout the whole season. So I think it's both. I mean, you don't want to take credit from one and give it to the other, but it's both together.
Yeah. Before we move on, do you think Moore comes out?
Yeah, I think he comes out.
He comes out?
He'd be crazy not to. He's still going to be the number 2 overall pick.
Oh boy, Dylan Raiola he just transferred to Oregon. So that might be a sign possibly that Moore might be on his way out. But then there was I think a D tackle that everybody thought was going to come out of Oregon, and he's staying. So maybe I don't know. It's kind of a wait and see, but it makes sense for Moore to come out. But but then you can make a case for him going back another year. Just because like it would probably do him justice to get another year of experience. But then that wouldn't guarantee him to be like a top 5 pick. But it is what it is. But we appreciate everybody coming through. Make sure to clock in, hit that like button, hit that subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Man, coaching update. Raiders have they've interviewed, so many different candidates, it feels like, which I felt like they've interviewed more candidates than they did last coaching cycle. Because I could remember who they interviewed. They interviewed Leslie Frazier. They interviewed, the KC Chiefs defensive coordinator. Obviously, Pete Carroll, Ben Johnson. I'm forgetting another defensive coordinator's name, but
I think they interviewed Vance Joseph last year.
Yeah, I think they interviewed him, and that was literally no offensive coordinator outside of Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson was the only offensive coordinator they can get to interview. Yeah. I don't think anybody wanted to.
I think they requested Monken, and Monken is like, I'm good.
Yeah. He didn't say he didn't respond, but like I think he didn't want to make the Raiders look bad. You know what I mean? He probably didn't want to burn his bridges with the team, so he just respectfully declined. We all knew what it was. But let me I'm pulling up the list here. I think I have a list here. Let me see. In the meantime, man, Mendoza elevates the talented team. That's exactly what our offense needs. Okay. Arkham is all in on Mendoza, man. He's all in. Oh, let me address the super chat. My bad.
Yeah, it's fine.
My bad. Let me hit this super chat, man. Appreciate the super chat. My guy. He says it's like finding a good girl. You have to find something wrong about her to cover your cognitive dissonance.
Nah, I think he's talking about people. Maybe he's talking about people criticizing Mendoza. See, that's the thing. Like, that's what people do. Like, it's the Halo Horns effect, where now all of a sudden, you see it in the chat now. Now all of a sudden, Moore is a bum, and Fernando Mendoza is the perfect prospect. Like, each of these guys have flaws. Each guys have pros. Like, they all have strengths and weaknesses. So you have to figure out, hey, which one of those strengths can we mitigate or eliminate, and which can we not? Which of these strengths translate better and we can accentuate, and which ones can't we? You know, and that's how you gotta look at these prospects. There's no perfect prospect out there. Like it doesn't exist. So that's why you have to, you have to look at, Mendoza. Okay, he does a lot of one read stuff. You have to look at Dante Moore. He's frail. He's been nicked up a lot. He sometimes he can get hyped up and overthrow the ball or make errant throws. Like you factor all of that stuff in. Can I coach that out of Moore? Can I expand Mendoza to make multiple reads or to go through all of his progressions? Like you have to look at all of that stuff. All of that stuff matters. And if you think you can, then you pick the one guy. And if you think you can't, then you pick the other guy. Or if you fall more in love with this guy's skill set, then you pick this guy. Or you fall more in love with this guy, he's 6'5" and he has the size already. He's ready to come in and compete now. Then that's the guy you go with. Like you have to factor all of that stuff in. So, I mean, people want to throw the baby out with the bathwater, and that's just not how it goes.
Yeah, man. So real quick, here's a rundown on the coaching search so far. Guys that they interviewed, guys that they've requested, and I'll probably add some names here. So far it's Clint Kubiak, Vance Joseph, Matt Nagy, Kevin Stefanski, Davis Webb have all been interviewed. Interviews that have been requested: Jeff Hafley, Mike LaFleur, Chris Shula, Ejiro Evero, Panthers DC, Nathan Skillhouse, Rams passing game coordinator. Interesting name. And then also probably add, I think we're add Jesse Mincher to that list as well. That's been, I haven't seen McDaniel, the former head coach for the Dolphins. He hasn't been requested. I know we could probably kind of add Harbaugh to the list, that the Raiders have contacted him, but nothing official, just a preliminary, phone call where they had a conversation. I guess I'm not sure if anything is going to come down the line, but nothing. Obviously, Tomlin, he was just let go. Everybody was kind of shocked about that move, but we all heard like rumors. But now, like to see it happen, especially like a guy that's literally going into playoffs every year, or at least above 500. I think that's what his streak was about. And he steps down, he resigns, but the Steelers kind of own his rights, so that kind of makes it an interesting situation, because if a team is interested in Tomlin, they would have to essentially trade for him, kind of like Sean Payton, which I was already against Tomlin coming to the Raiders as of right now because of it not being a good fit. But on top of that, the Raiders would have to trade for him. Like, nah, like just pass. Same thing with Harbaugh. Same situation. It's not really about the coach. It's more so where the Raiders are at in their rebuild process, and it's at the beginning. Like, I think, to be honest with you, their names kind of being added to already kind of a solid to good coaching cycle makes it even better for the Raiders, because now they have a better chance of getting a good young coach.
Yeah.
Usually, like, if we looked at the last coaching cycle, it was Ben Johnson and then everybody else. Ben Johnson, and then I guess you could throw in the coach for the Patriots.
Yeah, I'm going.
Coach for the Patriots.
Vrabel.
Vrabel. Like, those are the two big names at the time. Liam Cohen was like a... Cohen, I know you're not a hit, but hey, he was a big name. He was...
He's doing his thing, too. I can't hate him.
Exactly. Cohen was like, you could argue at the time, I'm talking about before the season success, was like a third guy. Cohen was the third guy. I'm trying to think of anybody else that would, like, obviously now, like...
Aaron Glenn was kind of popular. Aaron Glenn.
Yeah.
The defensive coordinator for the Lions. He ended up getting the Jets job. I think he was a pretty big name, but it's not the level of Ben Johnson or Vrabel.
Yeah.
But he was a big name that was out there.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm but I don't think maybe because he's a defensive guy, and like, defensive guys, I feel like it's almost like they gotta show you before you kind of buy in a little bit in today's NFL, just because the offensive guys are like the flashier names. Like, so I guess I put Cohen a little ahead of him as the third guy, because we could, like, all right, well, Cohen was kind of like, part of like that the Tampa Bay success with coordinators, because I think before Cohen it was the coach for Dave Canales, who's the current coordinator or head coach for the Panthers. But this year, man, Clint Kubiak, obviously you would probably, a lot of people argue is probably the number one guy that as far as young coaches right now, a young guy, even though like none of these guys are perfect. You could like pick apart and say like, are you sure about Kubiak? Has he ever developed a really strong running game, which is something that I told you about? Like, man, all the best offensive coordinators, they all, like in the NFL, or offensive coaches, they all have a strong running game. I know it's a passing league, but it's just not a surprise that they also have like a strong McVay, strong running game. Shanahan, strong running game. McDaniel, when he was a coach for the Dolphins, strong running game. Ben Johnson, bread and butter. You know what I mean? That's what he bought year one to the Bears. Strong running game. So it's like, if we can get a guy that obviously we want him to develop the passing game, and we want him to develop whoever the incoming rookie quarterback it is. Right now it's Mendoza. You drafted a running back at number 6 too. You know what I mean? That kind of helped. That kind of was like, we gotta get someone that at least could maximize that. You know,
Exactly.
if we draft a running back in the 7th round, then I'll be like, you know what? Who cares? Get Clint Kubiak. Who cares? When we drafted a running back number 6, we got to see that through. We got to make sure that's successful. Stefanski, I'm a pass. It's just, I don't know. It's just kind of weird. It's just weird. You know what's weird about Stefanski? I understand like the Deshaun. I don't know, man. He's an offensive coach, but like, did the Browns ever have a good offense? I know they had a good run game at times. They had a good run game.
Good run game with Nick Chubb.
But offensively, I don't even.
Not really.
How are you an offensive coach and never be good offensively? It's like, man, that's what's tough.
They caught fire a little bit. Remember when Joe Flacco was there? They caught fire a little bit when Joe Flacco was there down the stretch of that season. Then they went to the playoffs. Face, D'Amico Ryans, and I don't want to say Texans whipped their ass pretty badly in the playoffs. And then, mostly they've just been a good defense. They've just been a good defense. Like, to be honest, but peep this. That's why the Browns said whoever gets, and this could be an issue, but they said whoever they hire on as head coach, they would like to keep Jim Schwartz on as the defensive coordinator, aka John Harbaugh's bully.
If you know, man. We all know that Harbaugh punked him over there. But anyways, McDaniel, I heard, is a favorite for the Browns job. Like there's a lot of rumors there like saying that. Which I was saying that, like, I know McDaniel, in a perfect world, we would want him as an offensive coordinator for like just for preference. Like, I'm just looking at him as a head coach, and it's just, man, but the other side to it, he's got it done. He went to the playoffs 2 out of the 4 years that he was there. The 2 other years, he went 8-9 last year. This year he went 7-10. But we all know that he inherited a quarterback in Tua. That was not a guy that he was like. He came into the building. Tua was there, and he maximized Tua to the best of his ability. I think Tua, didn't he lead the league in yards at one point?
1 year.
Yeah, Mostert leads the league in touchdown. A running back that we're familiar with who played for the Raiders. We all know, he led the league in touchdowns. David, man, he was part of it's so many different reasons why you would like McDaniel as an offensive coach, but as a head coach, I don't think he's that bad of an option. Just because, and the only reason why I'm considering him a head coach, or I feel like the Raiders should consider him as a head coach, is because I feel like they would have a hard time bringing him in as an offensive coordinator. Just because there'll be a lot of competition. Like, he just interviewed for the Lions OC job.
Yeah, that's a smooth OC job too.
You got everything. You have everything. Established veteran QB, running back, wide receiver. Like, you got everything you need in order for you to
offensive line.
He could just, in his mind, he'd be like, all right, well, if I don't get a head coaching job, then I'm just gonna go to the Lions and just ball out for a year and become a head coach the following, a coaching cycle.
Yeah. Yeah, that will make it tough. That will make it tough. Like, yeah, like he'd have to have somebody who he was like really close to in order for him to pass. And like I don't see that happening. I mean, I think and Cleveland, like if Cleveland did, I can understand why. Because if you want to, if ownership, if what people say is true, Shador is more of an ownership, maybe front office pick than he was a Kevin Stefanski pick. And so if the front office or the ownership want to get the most out of Shador, who are they going to bring? Okay, let's bring over the guy that got the most out of Tua, right? So let's do that same deal. Yeah. And then, they drafted Quinshawn, and they drafted Dylan Sampson. So they got two ready-made backs there. They need some receivers, but they got, Harold Fannin. They can use this draft capital, building up the skill positions.
And a lot of the offense, which is like only, it makes sense. I mean, if the best offensive minded coaches, they're going to do this. Obviously, they're going to have a system, but they're going to tailor the system around the player's strengths. And that's what they did with Tua. You know what I mean? With his anticipation skills, quick passing game, like that. A lot of that was because he did that for Tua. Now, if you pair him up with another or a different type of quarterback, then we're going to see another version of McDaniel with that quarterback and that offense. It's going to be some similarities. Obviously, he's a Shanahan disciple, so we're going to see a lot of the bootlegs and this wide zone and outside zone or whatever running scheme. But at the same time, we're gonna see him just maximize the talent that he has. So him going to the Browns, I think that might be a that's a smooth home run hire, to be honest with you, especially because now you kind of give Shador, you could find a way to maximize Shador because Mike McDaniel was able to do that with Tua, like you said. So we'll
or if Dylan Gabriel, people, his skill set kind of matches up. Hey, look, his skill set aligns with Tua. You know what I'm saying? Just throw it out there. His skill set is similar to Tua.
No, for real. Yeah, I mean, he's gonna have to figure that out. If he takes that job. But yeah. And then I guess Minter getting into the fold is kind of interesting because there's a connection with Michigan, and people have been connecting the dots, and people are kind of they're gonna hype him up and compare him to Mike McDonald, and we'll see. That's an interesting hire. What is his coaching staff gonna look like? Is he gonna hire Greg Roman as an offensive coordinator?
My God.
Oh man, that's my question. What does the coaching staff look like with Jesse Minter? Because he is a young coach. But you know what's interesting? I'm not gonna lie, this is going on me, and this is your guy. This is your guy right here, Mike LaFleur.
Yes.
As a head coach option, he's currently the offensive coordinator for the Rams, and a guy that the Raiders have interviewed for the head coaching job is Nathan Skillhouse, and he's the passing game coordinator. So he could be the offensive coordinator. So you put them together, and then you pair him with Raheem Morris.
Exactly.
Ooh, I like that.
Now you're cooking with gas.
Exactly.
Now you're cooking with gas.
Exactly. I like that.
I think that would be ideal right there, because then you got a young head coach, a young offensive minded head coach. You got a young offensive minded offensive coordinator who he's probably not going to get any looks. He's getting some looks right now, preliminary looks, but I don't think he's going to get any serious consideration until he gets at least 2 years of OC experience in, unless we just blow up and go crazy on offense this next year. So you at least get to keep that core offensive head coach, offensive coordinator together for at least 2 years, and then you got a defensive head coach that has head coaching, defensive coordinator that has head coach experience. So that's a guy that your young offensive-minded head coach can lean on. They have a relationship that goes back quite somewhat. They were both on the staff with Atlanta. You know, that's how far back they go. That they were both on it. And this is back when Raheem Morris was an offensive assistant with Atlanta at this time. That's how long ago this was. So just that relationship being there, I think that's an ideal situation for me. And like I said, Michael Floyd has been my top guy since the beginning since before we hired Pete Carroll. That was my guy. So I think he's the best, best young offensive minded head coach in the open market. I put him above Kubiak.
Another combination is Chris Shula with Nathan Skillhouse. I could see that happen just because they're part of the same coaching staff, so there's a little familiarity there. So, man, yeah, man. The only one that is kind of, I would say, is a dark horse is kind of interesting, but he might be a little bit too young right now. But I've heard his name been talked about for a while now. Is Davis Webb, who's the Broncos QB coach and pass game coordinator. The only thing that you would have to question with him is kind of the same thing with Jesse Minter, but even more with Davis Webb is who's his coaching staff going to be?
Yeah.
Is it going to just be a lot of Broncos assistants? You know what I mean? Who? That's another thing that when the Raiders make that decision at head coach, part of it is all right, what is your coaching staff? How are you going to put together what are your they might like Davis Webb, but then who's his, he's never been a play caller. That's the risk with him.
But Mike McDaniel ain't never been a play caller either. But he's never even been. Davis Webb has never even been a coordinator. That's the other thing.
Pass game coordinator.
Not the same. But it's not the same. It's not the same.
Yeah, it's not the same.
Not really the same. Because not the same.
Yeah, and then you got to be who's the defensive coordinator? You know what I mean? Maybe it might be a good thing for him. Maybe he gets someone from Vance Joseph's coaching tree. As far as because he is with the Broncos. The Broncos have really good defense. But that's the question with Davis Webb is his experience level. He's a lot more riskier if you went that route, right. And I don't think the Raiders are right. Well, this is a good thing. This is a good problem to have. I don't think the Raiders. I don't think they have to be that risky in going after a Davis Webb. Unless he blows them out the water, they feel like he is the guy, then they're gonna have to live with that decision. But they gotta, like I said, the Raiders have options. Clint Kubiak, obviously we mentioned the Mike LaFleur's, Chris Shula's, and that combination. They haven't. I know there was early connections to Brian Flores, but we haven't heard any reported requests for an interview or even an interview happening with them. So that might just be a situation. Maybe that's not a fit for them. I could see Brian Flores going to the Steelers. The Ravens. I feel like he just fits both those teams just with his defense.
He was just in the Steelers organization too. 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So I can see that.
I know we talked about Saleh before, and there was some connection last year because they interviewed him for head coach, and they promised him to become the next head coach after Pete Carroll.
Yeah.
But we haven't seen any reports of him kind of getting interviewed as well. So, but he's doing a hell of a job with San Francisco. I'm not gonna lie,
hell of a job, yeah.
Bro, who is on that defense that's healthy, and he's figuring out a way to get stops.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Yeah, because because we've requested those other guys. We never even requested Saleh yet, right?
Yeah, and Saleh has been the reason why Saleh is so popular, or why I think Raider fans would be okay with him, is because we feel like that's where Mike McDaniel can come in and be the offensive coordinator. But like I said, bro, there's no way that he's not going to choose the line. He interviewed for the Lions, he got that in the bag.
Yeah,
that's his all right, all right, you guys not going to, okay.
It's between us two.
Yeah.
Come on, dog.
It's
come on, dog.
He just interviewed with them to let them know, hey, I'm interested. I just got to see if I can get a head coaching job. If I don't get the head coaching job, then just save me a seat, man. Just make sure, keep this place, I think for me, that's his number one. It has to be his number one spot, just based off the talent they have on that offense, and it just would be easy. Okay, 1 year, I'm gonna just do my thing with the Lions, and then become a head coach in 2027.
The one thing was the Lions, and when the Raiders job opens next year, I can take that.
See, that's that 3D chess right there, man.
I see y'all in 2027 Raiders after you fire this guy.
It's that 3D chess. But yeah, man. Were you surprised about Tomlin resigning?
Yeah, but I think it was kind of a mutual thing, though. To be honest with you, like I did Tomlin did he step away because like you could see the groundwork was being laid because there were reports saying like, oh, Tomlin was considering himself, like, how much longer does he want to be with the Steelers? So I think there was already conversations within the Steelers building that they weren't going to bring Tomlin back. So, I feel, and this is pure speculation, that he either caught wind of it and did it before they did, or they came to some type of agreement where like, look, man, like you've been with us 19 years, never had to lose a season, Super Bowls, like we appreciate you, go ahead and resign and, save some face. That'll save us some face as well, because we aren't the organization that fired you. You didn't get fired, you resigned, and, we're running like that. And then, when the coaching thing happens, that they'll still have control over it. So I think they came to an agreement.
Yeah. I think he's kind of tired of hearing all that noise on the outside, like him just kind of like being questioned. And it's kind of to the point, I guess, maybe like, maybe he wants a different challenge. He wants to go somewhere and like prove himself because, obviously being consistent for whatever reason isn't good enough out there with the Steelers. They're trying to, I guess, they want to win Super Bowls, and I guess it hasn't happened for them. But a lot of that has to do with, at the end of the day, like, bro, there's only going to be one team winning a championship. One team is going to win a championship. And we all know that in order to win that championship, you either have to have, either the best or top 3 quarterback along with a good team, or you have a crazy roster like the Eagles. You know what I mean? Where they're just talent everywhere. And then you got a guy that's like semi top 10, maybe top 15, you know what I mean? How depending on the day, how you feel about him. And like it's hard to do, man. That tells you how hard it is to win in the NFL. But something has to be said for him being consistent year in, year out, above 500, going to the playoffs like almost every year or every other year. We'll see where he goes, because I seen someone say something like the Tomlin and Harbaugh are like an example of like the rah-rah coaches kind of leaving the NFL. Like today's NFL is all about the smart, you know what I'm saying, like those innovative, offensive minded, like those, like Tomlin and Harbaugh are like kind of like more of like these old school types of coaches that the NFL like is slowly, or they're moving away from, kind of. Yeah. But then I'm like, well, I don't is that true? Because is Saleh is kind of like, isn't Saleh kind of a rah-rah guy? You know what I mean? And he's a guy is a popular candidate to become a head coach. I know he's one of the best defensive minds in football, but I'm like, I mean, Tomlin was a defensive coordinator before he got to the Steelers. Yeah. Harbaugh was different though. He was exception to the rule. He's special
teams coordinator.
Yeah, but I heard, did he coach DBs at all?
I don't know. I mean, I think part of what got him hired was his name.
Oh yeah,
his brother was cooking. It was like, let's get some of this.
Yeah.
So I think that's part of what got him a job. But yeah, like I wouldn't put Tomlin into a rah-rah tiger. I don't think he's like a rah-rah guy. Really, he seems more like a no nonsense kind of guy.
Yeah.
But, he'll like get on you, but afterwards he'll put his arm around you. But had been hard on you because
he's kind of he's no nonsense, but he's also like a player's coach. It's like kind of random. Exactly. Like he's a combination of both. Usually it's like no nonsense and like my way or the highway, get out of my face, or or just super like cool, like players coach. You know what I mean? Like, but he's kind of like it seems like a combination of both, because you see like the respect that like the locker room has for him. I remember that I think it was a clip that we might have played on the show, but you might have sent to me where a player was just while he was talking, he was just. I think a player was coming in an interview where he was joking around with Tomlin or something like that. Who was? I forgot who it was.
I can't remember who it was.
You know what I'm talking about, right? Like,
yeah, I know what you're talking about, yeah.
But it just showed like, oh, okay, like that's the type of relationship they have. Like that's the type of locker room they have. Is like they can do that and still have like respect for him as a head coach. And I'm not gonna lie, I had a lot of respect for him for that Antonio Brown situation. Like, whew.
Yeah.
No one knew
know how crazy it was. Right?
No one knew how crazy Antonio Brown was until until he left. And then the thing is too, part of the curse of the Steelers wide receivers, or kind of, George Pickens kind of broke that a little bit, was because how well he could handle like these big personalities and not make it a problem for the team. And then once they go to another team and it's just like, the rest is history. But let me address the super chat real quick. Man, appreciate the super chat. He says, "How y'all doing, fellas? Predictions on Seattle versus SF. Also, would you be intrigued by trading back from the first pick just to pick up additional picks?" I'm going Seattle. Last time I picked the 49ers, I might have picked them just because I was trying to get an upset. But as y'all might have found out, we end up losing NFL picks that week or that just the year. But I'm going with the Seattle. I think Seattle's they've been dominating. They're like the best. They're best team in I guess the NFC right now. Yeah. Like overall.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that was the Week 18 game, like the last game of the season. Yeah. I'm probably going with Seattle too. It's San Francisco. They're so banged up. And then they just lost Kittle. I think Kittle was gone with an Achilles, so he gone all of next year most likely. So he probably won't see him again for another season after that.
Did you hear why the reasons where someone is saying the reason why the 49ers are getting hurt the way they are year in year out is because of
the electromagnetic field, something like that.
How much you buying that?
I don't know.
It's crazy.
I mean, there are and obviously there are factors, like environmental factors that can play a role in that.
Yeah.
But I don't know how much that plays a part, because I want to say there's like a crazy. Well, I don't know how hurt it was. But Tennessee was kind of hurt too, right? Because there's like the I want to say like the Grok thing is, I want to say, is in Tennessee. I forgot exactly what city, but the Grok thing is in like the Grok super computer or whatever. It's in Tennessee. So
yeah,
I know that there could be some truth to that.
Yeah, and the thing about San Francisco too is like hell of a coaching job that Salah and Shanahan has been doing on defense, and obviously Shanahan just overall on that team, like to able to get them to how many? I mean, like more than 10 plus games, get them into the playoffs, win on the road against the Eagles with Kittle out. I mean, Purdy was out for a good portion of the games. Like, I mean, at least 4, 5, 6 games at least that he missed this year. And then you look at that defense, how many guys that they are hurt. The team is just injury riddled, and they still find a way to win. But it feels like with them, it's like a Cinderella story that is going to come to an end against like a real good team in Seattle this year. So I got Seattle. And then would you be treated to trade back from the first pick? I know I've talked about this before, but there's no way they're not gonna do that. They're not gonna do it.
I don't see the Raiders doing. I don't see them doing it either. Like the most like 97% chance.
Yeah.
And if you win, it goes up to 99% chance.
Yeah.
Is going to be Mendoza. Like the only way you trade back is if you don't believe in any of these quarterbacks. If you don't believe in any of these quarterbacks, then you trade back. But if you believe in one of these guys, you have to pull the trigger. I mean, that's the only option. But if you don't believe in any of them, then you have to you have to trade. Like you can't pick a guy that you don't believe in. But I think they'll believe in one of these guys, and I think Fernando Mendoza will be the guy they eventually land on.
The thing is too is if it was a good quarterback, like on so many levels, if it was a deep class, they're not trading back. Why would they trade back in a deep class? That means that there's going to be a guy that they like at the top of the draft. Like, so why would you trade? But But the fact is it's either a one to two quarterback draft, and then everybody else. Yeah. It's like, man, at this point, I mean, if they, I think what they're going to be doing, they're going to be interviewing these offensive-minded coaches and be like, hey, so what do you think of Mendoza? What do you think of Dante Moore? What do you think of Mendoza?
Yeah.
And if they're like, hey, yeah, I like what I've seen. I'm all in. He's my type of quarterback, yada, yada, yada. This is the plan I have for him. That's pretty much the interview. I mean, the Raiders have the number one pick. It's guaranteed. They could plan out their whole the great thing of having number one pick, they can plan out their entire offseason. Because they know who they're going to pick number one. So now, like, if they know they're going to take, I know a lot of people are like, well, why would you take a quarterback number one? You don't have an offensive line. But the thing is, they have the number one pick. So they know they're going to take a quarterback. So they can prepare for that guy to come in. So how do they prepare? That means they use $100+ million of that cap space that they have, which is like number 2 in the NFL, if not number 1, to invest in getting an offensive line. Maybe, I don't think they should go after, I don't know how you feel about this. I don't think they should go after a wide receiver at all. No, not a wide receiver at all, but the big name wide receivers like the AJ.
Free agency, no.
I don't want. He's currently still with the Eagles, but I don't want no AJ Brown. I don't want no, for sure, not the wide receiver with the Cowboys. I'm sorry, like he's just
George Pickens? No.
He's just not gonna work. He's
not gonna.
He needs to go to a team that everything is established. Like everything, there's a structure. Everything is established. There's a good veteran. Like there's people in there that will check him and be like, hey. Like, you get what I'm trying to say?
He needs to go to a team with a quarterback that will be willing to check him. Like, I don't think Mendoza.
Oh, no.
Like, Mendoza's not about to check George Pickens. Like, or AJ Brown, right? And it's just not his way.
Yeah.
And some guys, like I said, sometimes you command respect and sometimes you got to demand respect. And it's easier to demand respect with some players than it is others. And I don't think AJ Brown or George Pickens make it easy, especially for a young quarterback to do that.
Maybe Alec Pierce.
I can see Alec Pierce
because they have a lot of cap space. They need some size at wide receiver, so he kind of fits that. Like, I mean, we're not just some size at wide receiver, just having an outside receiver, legit outside receiver. Alec Pierce kind of like technically fits that role, but I don't look at him as number one. He's not like a number.
He's not number one.
He's not a number one, but he is a starting caliber outside receiver.
Yeah.
That's what he is. So, and then the Raiders can possibly like sign him to like a contract that makes sense to them. Probably going to be a lot of money on the front end, but then they can like strategically like get a wide receiver one following draft.
Yeah.
Get their guy like in the first round who comes out that draft. I mean, most likely, well, we'll see how the Raiders season go next year, but. Jeremiah Smith might go. Man, he might go.
He's top 3 for sure.
Yeah.
Unless he tears something up.
Yeah, because Malik Neighbors went number 4. So and
Jeremiah Smith is better than Malik Neighbors.
Yeah.
As a prospect. What he does in the NFL, that remains to be seen. But Malik Neighbors was my number 1 receiver that year, even when everybody else had Marvin Harrison Jr. I had Malik Neighbors as the number 1 receiver that year. Yeah. And that's for a reason. So it's like he was.
But what could work out in the Raiders' favor is if, like, let's say the quarterback class next year like balls out, that's gonna like.
It's supposed to be a deep class too.
They say it every year. The only time it really was. That was 2024.
Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, like where they took like 6 quarterbacks in the top, 10 picks, 12 picks. But yeah, if that happens, that means, Brock Bowers drops to number 13. You know what I mean? Or Jeremiah Smith might drop a little bit. Probably not that far, but like, because I don't know. I mean, we're far away from the following season, but like we all know it's a rebuild, so it's not like we're expecting the Raiders to ball out next year, but anything can happen. I know a lot of people are like, man, if we get a quarterback, and this is another thing too, before we move on, because we got to go to flag on the play. Before we go to flag on play, you know what I hate? I hate the answer where they be like, oh, why would they draft Mendoza at 1? The Raiders are not a quarterback away. Like, what?
Yeah.
That's why you make picks? You make picks because you're a player away? No, you make picks because you're trying to build the talent on your football team.
Exactly.
Bro, I get so mad when people say that. Like, why are you saying you're not a player? You're not a player away. You're not a quarterback away, because that's what they've been saying about Mendoza. But I guess that might be the Jets media trying to, like, play 3D chess and try to, like, get the Raiders to make a dumb decision and have them drop. But that doesn't make any sense. Oh, you shouldn't draft a guy because you're not a player away. You're not a quarterback away. Like, you're not I'm saying a player away, but in reality, we're talking about quarterback. You're not a quarterback away. That doesn't make any sense. You draft a guy because at the end of the day, it's all about, value, right?
Exactly.
Premium players. One of the premium players that you want to draft high is a quarterback. The premium player. Like, what are we talking about here?
Yeah. I know what they mean. I don't agree with their logic, but I know what they mean. I know what they're trying to say is that well, I'm assuming, if I'm going to kind of like steel man for them, for the people saying that for a minute, is they're saying, like, you know what, build up the other stuff for a quarterback, so that way when you get the quarterback, it's not such a rough transition or a rough, introduction into the league. He has some weapons. He maybe has a running game, maybe has an offensive line, and that way he can kind of, not take a whole bunch of bumps and bruises. But, like, you don't always have that convenience, right? That's not always an option for you to do. Sometimes when you're presented with the opportunity, you have to take it. Now, had the Raiders done, what they were supposed to do in years past and put themselves in position to draft a quarterback in years past, and we're still picking number 1 overall, maybe we do what the Bears did with Justin Fields, and, where we can trade back and we can acquire all of this stuff. So that way, when we do eventually draft a young quarterback, number 1 overall, like they did with Caleb, well, now he has Rome Odunze, and he has, we can draft a Colston Loveland, and, we have these other pieces there that are ready to contribute, as opposed to, kind of having to throw them out into the fire. There's more than one way to skin the cat. Obviously, Bryce Young, early he struggled, but, he just led his team to the playoffs. So, like he had he was benched. He was benched. People thought his time might be up.
Yeah.
And, and now it seems to be, he's on the upward trend. So there's more than one way to do it. But if you're in a position to draft a franchise quarterback and you believe the guy's a franchise quarterback, then you got to do it.
Yeah. No, I understand what you're saying. It's just the thought process of, oh, I'm not going to draft this guy because I'm not a player away. I'm not a quarterback. No, the goal is to build talent in a roster. And then once you identify, like, who the best player is at said premium position, I know last year it was just BPA, regardless of premium position. That's a whole different argument. You know what I mean? Same thing with Brock Bowers, not a premium position, but BPA position. But at the end of the day, like, that's the whole point is you got to build talent. Like, what are you gonna take, a lesser talented guy? Like, who are you gonna take? Who are you gonna take? I think their whole thing was like, you need to draft offensive line. Like, in a perfect world,
you can do that in other.
It's just, I just didn't. I just never understood. Like, like, I understand what you're saying, but they're not coming from that place though. They're coming from a place like, oh yeah, you shouldn't draft Mendoza because you're not a quarterback away. Oh really? Okay. So when should we take a quarterback? Oh,
but you're never. But then, like, by that logic, you're not just an offensive lineman away. You're not just a running back away.
Exactly.
You're not just a wide receiver away. Like,
exactly.
You're not just one position away.
Exactly.
I can see the logic with don't draft a running back number 1 overall because you're not just a running back away.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But the quarterback is the most that is the most important piece to the puzzle.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like that's not some side project. Like, that is the project. That is the number 1 thing that you want and that you need in a National Football League is a quarterback that can lead your franchise, lead your organization. If you're in position to get a guy that you think can do that, well, damn, but just do it. Like,
Yeah.
bro, you got to do that.
Yeah, yeah. But like I said, man, I think a lot of that's coming from the Jets media. You know, they're trying to find a way. Like they got some guys in the industry, in the media. Because I'm like, where is this? Who's saying this and actually believe what they're saying? Like, well, when I heard, I was like, and it's not just coming from one place. It's a few people who are saying like, hey, you're not a quarterback away. Like, who are? Anyways, man, yeah, man, it is what it is, man. But hey, man, it's that time, man.
Personal foul, 69, offense. He was giving them the business.
Flag on the play. You say it again.
I said, they probably can't even hear that.
Oh, the flag on the play.
Yeah.
Oh man, did y'all hear that? Let me know in the chat, man. Let me know in the chat. But hey, it's that time, man. It's flag on the play, man. What we got this week, Severe?
So yeah, we got two this week, man. One you sent to me, man. One you sent to me was interesting. It was just because it was just cold. It was just straight cold.
Ruthless.
I was like, dang. But obviously the Ravens they recently relieved John Harbaugh of duties, and the owner, it was Steve Bisciotti. They asked the owner, they asked the owner a question about the timing of the firing, and if some other things had transpired, would he have still fired him? And it was very interesting. It was cold-blooded what he said.
If Tyler Loop makes that field goal, is John Harbaugh still here coaching this team?
For a week.
Oh, man.
Ah, man. That is cold, man.
Damn.
And
what happened?
And what's so cold? What's even colder, though? What's cold is that, first of all, he said for a week. So his assumption is that if they get into the playoffs, they're going to lose the first week. Like, so he's saying they're going to lose the first week, and then he's going to fire them. He didn't even think they could win a game in the playoffs. Like, bro, there's 1,000 ways he could answer that question.
Yeah.
He'd be like, you know what? That's speculation. I don't want to get into hypothetical. He could have deflected it. I don't know what Harbaugh did to him, bro, but he dropped the elbow from the sky on that one.
Yeah, I think part of it, is that he, just like you said, he literally didn't have any belief in him to even win the next game. He just said for a week. So that for him to say that is crazy, but I think part of it is I think he thinks that with Harbaugh, they hit their ceiling. So he wants a fresh voice in there. I think he with Harbaugh and his team, he just feels like, you know what? That's the reason why you make the move. But it's just the way he went about it. Even man, I'm about to watch the full pressure because I've been seeing clips. I'm like, this dude, he don't care at all. Like the Ravens owner, you hear him talk, it's like, bro, he was talking about they asked him will Lamar Jackson have any say at head coach? And he was just like, yeah, he'll have say, but I'm the owner. You won't have. Literally, he said he won't have any power, but I hear what they have to say.
That dude probably got mob ties, bro. He probably got mob ties.
Bruh, the way he's saying it, it's not like he's saying things that technically are not, are true. Like he's saying things that are true, but it's just man, he's gangster. He don't care at all. At all. He drunk that water, was like, yeah, for a week.
He had to make sure. He may have to make sure his vocal cords were nice and warm for that.
Man, he got to be the biggest gangster in the NFL as far as owner. I don't think there's. I'm trying to think, there's anybody else?
Jerry Jones.
Jerry Jones, yeah, he be doing dumb stuff though.
Yeah, but he be gangster as heck. Jerry Jones does what he want to do.
Yeah,
bro, he don't care what nobody say.
Yeah,
he does what the heck.
He'll make comments about the team. At least Bisciotti. But he got a crazy last name too, man. I could see like if I was if I was in elementary school, I would have fun with that last name. Be immature,
Man.
hella immature. But
Man. Crazy.
my guy Raider Smoke with the super chat. Appreciate the support, my guy, man. He says, my folks, my 2 cents, don't overthink it. Get your QB, free agency, address the offensive line. You can't pass up on opportunity to get. Yeah, facts. I think we're all on the same page. Like, we all feel like, hey, if the Raiders are going to spend their money, spend that money at offensive line. I think, Charles, the good thing is, though, the Raiders have, finally, they got a little bit of upside with some of the young guys at the offensive line room, but I don't want to depend on them taking the next step next year. But then it would be nice for them to, make it a tough decision on who's going to be the starter going into next season. That's a good problem to have. But you got to bring in some veterans. And I think that starts with the number one target is the guy, the center from the Ravens.
Lindemann.
Yeah, he's gonna bring everything all together, in my opinion. Cause
Shotty might mess around
Shotty.
and put a colon on spy tech like, bro, you better not.
He might beat his ass.
He just calls him up. It's like 125 East 1st Street. It just hangs up.
Yeah, the way he talks, like he.
Why do you say my address?
Damn. Yeah. Nah. I mean, it'd be funny like hearing them talk about like, cause how long has he owned the Ravens?
Like 20 years, something like that. I want to say.
So he's kind of
since they moved, I want to say.
Oh, so he's a newer owner, technically speaking. He's not like
no. He's no. I want to say since they moved. I don't know how long ago that was.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So I gotta watch that Full Pressure because he is wild, man. He does not care at all. And it completely different owner than Mark. Mark is like a nice guy.
Yeah, fact. Like
the way he addresses everybody, like it's just he's a nice guy.
He's super affable. Like he likes to be, funny and have fun and stuff like that.
But if you had to put money, who would win in a fight?
Oh, bro, come on, dog. Mark Davis is a 60-something-year-old ginger, bro. He ain't got no hands, bro. You leave Mark Davis out in the sun too long. He's all fucked up.
Oh man. Yeah, he just, bro. But Shotty, he would get down.
Bro.
He would fight in a brawl, man. He's crazy. But yeah, man. Raider Smoke, man. Appreciate the super chat, my guy. We got another flag on the play. We got
one more flag on the play. It's interesting, man. I was peeping this, and there's a star running back who he wasn't able to identify who Aaron Donald was, and the reason why is quite interesting.
You picked the Broncos to win Super Bowl this year?
I don't know because I don't watch football.
That's a fact, dog. I don't know how you do this at that level, bro, and you don't turn on the TV.
Yeah, I don't watch football.
That is crazy.
I couldn't even tell you who else is going to make the playoffs. For real. I think it's good, though, because it keeps everything fresh for me. I feel like you can burn out doing too much focusing on that.
It be all pro players. You ain't never heard of this man, bro.
Yeah.
We'll be in the game, and you'll be like, man, that number 99 good, bro. He made some plays. Like, AK, that's Aaron Donald.
That was pretty cold.
That's Aaron Donald, AK.
Bro,
like
cold.
This, yeah, you don't know this man?
Pretty cold. I'm really more of a buff on the process. Like, I like the process.
Yeah.
I like being around Sean and then seeing him go somewhere else and implement what I know we went through and it working.
For sure.
And he 12-2, so I know that's process.
Yeah, flag on the play, man. How do you not know the competition? How do you not know your peers? Like, come on, bro. Like, do you? First of all, for me, I question: is he actually telling the truth?
I saw so for those who don't know that it was Alvin Kamara, and I think he might be telling the truth, man. Like, I know us, we're sports fans. I know there is thousands of athletes out there that are sports fans that love the sport, and they follow the sport. And all these athletes, they worked hard and they want to get to the league, obviously for the money, but because they love the sport. But there are athletes out there, bro. This is just my job. Like Jokic, bro. Yeah, Jokic, bro. Jokic loves horses more than he loves basketball. Like anybody will tell you that. He goes in an off season. He goes back home and he takes care of the horses. Like there are guys that, hey, this is my job. You know, I'm gonna do what's necessary to be good at my job, but I'm not going this on my free time. Like people like this, bro. Like if you worked at an accounting firm or something like that, like you wouldn't spend your free time. Like, oh man, now I'm about to day trade. Like nah, bro. Like you go like this is like I do that for my work. Like I'm not going to spend my off time doing work stuff. And some people just view the NFL and the NBA and Major League Baseball, that's just work. And like I ain't working off the clock. Like right, that's not what I'm doing. Right, I'm gonna do what's necessary for me to get the job done. And he feels obviously he's been an effective player for a long enough time to say, no, he does what he needs to do to be good on Sundays.
Yeah, I just don't buy it, man. I don't believe it. Like come on, Aaron Donald. How do you not know arguably the best defensive player of his generation?
Yeah, for sure this generation, yeah.
So I don't know if that's just like, you know, maybe an attention thing. Like he's just trying to prove a point. Like I don't care. Like, you know what I mean? Some people kind of try hard to act like they don't care, but they really do care. Come on, bro. Like, oh, I'm just a fan. I'm just a fan of the process. Like, yeah, you could be a fan of the process, but you don't know any player.
Or he might know the name, but not know their number. Like
he don't know any player, bro. He's been in the NFL.
He might know their name.
He's been in the NFL. He's been in the NFL for let me see how long he's been in the NFL, because this is a recent interview, right?
I believe so, yeah.
So I think he's been almost 10 years. Like 7 years. I'm thinking. Let's see. Yeah, man. If you haven't already, make sure to clock in, hit that like button, hit that subscribe, hit that notification bell. Let's see. First year was 2017. Damn, almost 10 years.
Yeah, so eight so far, 8 going on 9.
2017? Come on, bro.
Yeah, going into his 9th year. Yeah, I mean, but like I said,
I can understand the new guys. I can understand the new guys, but like, come on, bro. Aaron Donald, that come on, bro. I don't believe that, bro. That's flag. Come on, that's flag just based off that comment alone.
Yeah, he's like, that's a flag. Yeah. I mean, some of these guys, like I said, they might just. Well, Aaron Donald was different. I think that was fugazi. Like I think you got to know who Aaron Donald, because because they played them in the playoffs before, so he got to know who Aaron Donald is. But you know, some people just know the name of the player, they don't know their number, so they see somebody out there, you know, hey, he kicked, like who 99? Look, bro, that's Aaron Donald. Like, oh snap, okay, damn. You know, some people.
Smoke says Mark looks like he fights dirty, like he bites folks. Don't sleep on Mark. That'd be a crazy revelation, man. We find out that Mark is a biter. That'd be crazy. Coach says, I don't blame him. NFL's hard to watch nowadays. It's bad football. Myles Garrett is a close second, though. Yeah, Myles Garrett is crazy.
Yeah, Myles Garrett is crazy.
That's another guy, too. Like, you don't know Myles Garrett. Like, he should say, I would have just, maybe because he knew him, and he was just like, he just proved a point by just saying Aaron Donald, and that was enough. But, like, let's say if it was somebody, like, that didn't know the extent of what he was saying, I would have just been like, how about Myles Garrett? How about Jerry Rice? How about just start naming it. Like how about Julio Jones? How about Calvin Johnson? How about like just, and if he keeps just the obvious thing, how about Tom Brady?
Yeah.
If he says Tom, come on, bro. Like
how about Drew Brees? You lying?
Drew Brees.
How about Drew Brees?
Bro, you're lying. Stop lying. That's a lie, bro. That's a lie. But you know, it is what it is, man. Flag on the play, definitely. Todd McShay, obviously honorable mention earlier, like I was talking about, like how he changed his opinion in 1 week. Like, and it'd be funny if Moore comes out and he goes number 1. I told you that was the guy that I.
Yeah, he was like, told you, man, it's poetry. It's funny because we'll get to that in notable quotas, but it's funny because he said that quote about Dante Moore being poetry, but it's funny. It's funny.
Yeah. Oh yeah. AFC West update. I'm sure you guys probably know already, but Chargers lost.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they at home watching the game with us this week. And they end up firing their offensive coordinator, who Jim Harbaugh is close with. So that must have been like
Would have been tough.
Must have been a tough situation, and he might have been facing a little bit pressure. Cause you know what I mean? Like why? Like if it's a guy that you're he has a good relationship with, he's worked with in the past. Like that was a guy that he went out his way to hire as soon as he got his head coaching job, and he fires him after is this his first or second year? I guess his second year. Second year. But like literally he fires him. So I know that was a tough like decision for him, but
I'm happy about it.
Yeah, because
we've never beat Greg Roman, I don't think. I think we've never beat Greg Roman.
Yeah, but his Raiders suck. You know, the last couple of years, like we like, come on, bro. We don't even, it's hard. Like when people say, oh, it's hard to evaluate this prospect because of the talent around. Like it's hard to evaluate the Raiders and what they do good and what they don't do good right now, because it's like they're not a good coach team. They're not a talented football team. They're like, there's so many things against them. Like, how can you really even evaluate them as a team? But Megatron Leafs were incredible. Yeah, man. Yeah. But according to allegedly, according to Alvin Kamara, he doesn't know who Megatron is. Megatron, you talking
about Transformers?
Transformers. Come on, man. That's
Optimus Prime finding myself.
That's wild, man. But if you have already, make sure to clock in, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. We're going live on both our channels. Obviously, if it's your first time joining us, definitely subscribe to both. And then also, as we like to say, clock in, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, all that good stuff. We get into, man, it's that time, man. It's notable quotables, where we play quotes that we find interesting that we would like to talk about. And Severe, what's the first quote that we would like to play this?
Ironically, we're just talking about McShay, and as we know, he has his podcast. He like a few weeks back or last week, right? Like last week, he had some glowing things to say about Dante Moore. Now, after the game just finished with Indiana versus Oregon, him and his co-host, they had some very nice things to say about Fernando Mendoza as well.
I want to talk about Mendoza in this game.
Unbelievable. He was unbelievable. Surgical.
Go ahead.
Surgical. When you're that confident and you're that prepared, you put yourself in the best position to execute, and you see that happening with him. His efficiency is a superpower, I guess. If you're a football fan, man, it's fun to watch.
It's starting to look kind of easy for him, isn't it? One guy's more beautiful throwing the football. One guy makes some throws that the other guy you just don't see a lot of. One guy, it really looks NFL and it looks CJ Stroud when things are going right. And you see what the future could be. And it's enticing and it's intoxicating. The other guy just murders you with
deaths by 1,000 cuts. Yep.
And by the way, I've been watching it all season long. The back shoulder stuff, especially to Surratt, is just lethal. You could put it to classical music. It's like poetry meets art. I want to talk about Mendoza.
Yeah, bro. I be honest with you, man. Like Todd McShay, man. I can't listen to him no more, bro. I can't hear, because first of all, what is he talking about? Death by 1,000 cuts. Like, yeah, there are times where like Mendoza will throw it short, but he takes shots down the field. He's actually super aggressive throwing it down the field. So I don't even understand like him just describing him in that way when he's pretty aggressive throwing it downfield. And I think Mendoza has, to me, in my opinion, I think he has a stronger arm than Moore, but he makes it seem like Moore has a strong arm. He talks about how it looks. Okay, I could give him that. Like, oh, okay.
So there's a difference between arm talent and arm strength, and that's why I think people make a mistake. arm talent and arm strength are two different things. Like Jamarcus Russell probably has the strongest arm of all time, but he doesn't really have like arm talent. You know, like there's a difference, and I think people conflate the two. Like part of having arm talent is your ability to, to be accurate, and Mendoza's super accurate as well, but to layer throws, throw from different arm angles, throw from, different body positions, do all of that stuff. As well as, zip the ball downfield, know what throw to make when, like all that stuff. All that stuff is part of arm talent. Arm elasticity, you see the throw that Caleb Williams made, that crazy throw where he's running to his left full speed, and he can like that's arm. That's part of having arm talent. Like it takes a strong arm to do that, but it takes also a certain
skill
level of flexibility and arm elasticity to be able to do that. And not every quarterback does. Like CJ Stroud doesn't really have arm elasticity. Like CJ, he can't do that stuff. Like he's a more up and down thrower most of the time. And I think that's like what Mendoza is. I think Moore offers you a little bit more of that kind of other stuff. It's just different. I mean, but like Tom Brady don't have an arm elasticity, but he's just precise. And I think that's more what they're saying. Like when they say death by 1,000 cuts, it's just so precise, It's not, it's not flowery. It's just very efficient, very precise. And, like they cut you. And then it's the one, bam, now I got you. I'm going downfield to Becker. And
so
we cut you, and bam, I'm going downfield to Surratt.
So you're saying that he's not referring to it like because he says death by 1,000 paper cuts.
Like dink and dunk.
He's not.
No, I think he's more so like just very, very precise. Very precise, very controlled and measured. It's not wild. It's not, I think it's just very controlled and measured. You know exactly where you're cutting. You're cutting at this speed and this spot. And then, bam, when it's time to deliver the death blow, bam, I got you. I know exactly where I'm going with the ball. And I think that's more that's what I took it as. I didn't take it as like a slight, like because I don't think he's a dink and dunk guy.
No. I don't think he said it as a slight. I just thought like hearing him talk, it's I don't know, man. His credibility.
I took it as precision. That's what I took it as.
I'm kind of looking at him as the a lesser version of Rondo. Or Rajan.
Yes,
Rajan.
Look, when we were talking about Davis Webb earlier, there was something that Rajan had put out that I was like, yeah, disgusting. But nah, yeah. But make no mistake, I do think he was trying to play both sides of the fence because he did like in the middle of this, soliloquy that's supposed to be talking about Mendoza. He made sure he threw in these comments about Moore to kind of like hedge his bets.
Yeah.
And then he finished it off with, I was like, I don't play those games. But like I said, I've said both of them are good quarterbacks. I think both of them are good prospects. Who have asked me who I'm taking number one overall, I'm taking number one. I'm taking Moore, all day, twice on Sunday. Like that's just me. But I wouldn't be mad at all. Like if somebody has the opposite, because there's plethora of evidence to say Mendoza is that guy.
Yeah.
That's the consensus. So I'm not mad at that. But I'm standing 10 toes down. Like he's waffling, because I'm sure he probably heard it in the comments. People, oh, what do you think about Moore? What do you think about Moore now? Like I thought the same thing about Moore Friday night that I thought about him on Thursday morning. Like ain't nothing changed over here, man. Like I'm not gonna let one game dictate what I think of a prospect. But yeah, I mean, like he's playing both sides. But that's what people in the media do. So they can be like, it's like I told you back then that this guy is beautiful, is CJ Stroudish, or if Moore doesn't do well, it's like I told you, man. I said I had the video. You see the video. I told him he needs to go back to school. Told him he's not ready.
Yeah.
And if Mendoza doesn't do well, so I told you guys, look, Indiana, they're such a great team. And Cignetti has that thing really rocking, and I told you guys.
Oh, watching Moore is like poetry. Like, get out of my face.
They're playing both sides of it, man. So like I said, but the thing is, you can like both guys though. But people in this space, we see it here. Like you can't. It's not a like both guys thing. Like if one guy is good, the other guy sucks. If you like one guy more than the other guy, it's because the other guy is just whack and weak and this guy is the best prospect, perfect, and like that's not real life. It's not real life.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, man, I give y'all benefit of the doubt as far as what he. I just when I hear McShay talk, it's just like I don't know. His credibility is kind of like going down the drain a little bit with me. Because it kind of started with last year. I give him benefit of doubt because he went, the Raiders are gonna. Because remember, he was just like saying the Raiders are gonna probably take this guy. There's a good chance the Raiders are gonna take this guy, and they end up taking Genty. So and then there might be some truth to like the smoke that like Spike Take has been putting in, which is a good thing. So no one really can predict what he's gonna do, because I think the GM for the Jaguars, the GM of the Jaguars made a comment and was saying that like literally when it came to Jacoby Myers, I know you didn't want him to get traded, but he said all the way up until the trade deadline, he didn't think that Jacoby was gonna get traded.
Yeah.
Like he was asking for like a second rounder, third rounder, all the way up until like, you know what I mean, got close, and then, but that's credit.
Normal, though. But that's normal.
But
that's
what
teams?
But he was giving him credit, like he just like couldn't read him basically. You got to give poker.
But that's like, it's like have you ever seen like two countries make a diplomatic agreement? And then they took, oh my God, like they drove a tough bargain, and like that's what they always like, jerk each other off after it's over. So the relations are friendly. Like nobody wants to feel like they got taken advantage of or they took advantage of somebody else. Like that's what it is. That's in my opinion, because that's 99% of the deals are made in like the last 30 minutes or hour of the trade deadline. That's how it works, because nobody's willing to budge off their spot. One team says, oh, I'll give you a seventh rounder, and one guy's like, I need at least a second.
Right.
And then, and then you will it down, you kind of figure it out, and then when your back is against the wall and you have to make the move, then that's when the move gets made. That's why I think that's how it goes most of the time.
I feel like, he didn't do a terrible job with that trade, but it makes you think though, because remember he made some comments. I wonder if Myers fell into that. Because remember his end of the season presser, he mentioned like he was, he was being accountable. He was just like, hey man, there's some guys that I should have brought back. I wonder if Myers was that guy, a guy that he thought he should have brought back, because obviously a lot of people were thinking about free agency and how they didn't re-sign some guys. I think that's what he was kind of what he was saying. But then I wonder if like Myers is a guy that he ever thought that maybe we should brought back. But like I said to you, Severe, I'm like, man, once they hit 30, man, that production go down. And then like the way Spytek has treated the Raiders since he got here is like, yeah, we're not going to be good this year. We're not going to be good next year. Think about what he said in his presser. They asked him, what are you looking for the next head coach? Understanding that, you don't have to come in here and win 10 games.
Man,
bro, that was a shot. That was a shot. That was a
Pete Carroll.
Pete Carroll easily.
Yeah, but look, I think what's good about that is also setting expectations, because I think when you overpromise and underdeliver, that's what will get coaches in trouble.
Yeah,
right? That's why coaches get fired quickly. Because Josh McDaniels was supposed to be, Mark Davis set it up. Oh, we about to build a dynasty here, and yada yada yada, and obviously that didn't go like it was planned. And then AP is, oh man, he's bringing the Raiders back. He's a real Raider himself, and he's about the tough hard nose, and obviously that didn't go like it was planned. So then Pete Carroll came in here. I win 10 games every year, and I don't see any reason why we can't compete. And
Mendoza's not a guy that should be thrown in.
So
my bad.
So, I think they overpromised and underdelivered. And I think he's trying to set the expectations low. So if a coach comes in and he exceeds those expectations, okay, now the fan base is like, okay, man, we weren't even supposed to win 6 games this year. We won 7. Oh man, now we're on the right track.
Smart.
So I think
that's smart though. That's smart.
That's smart. That's smart. And I think he's seen what has happened with his organization over the past 4 years with these head coaches, where it's like, should they have given this guy more time? And probably. Should they have given this guy more time? Yeah, probably. Should we have hired this old man that just wants to win now? Probably not. Now we're doing dumb stuff, drafting running backs at 6 when we need wide receivers or we need offensive line help or we need, another pat. Like, so I think, but he was trying to win now. So I think he saw that as like, know what? I'm a level set right now. And I'm a level set not only organizationally, not only with whoever my head coach is, but with my fan base as well. So that way, that buys us some time to kind of do what we need to do to get this organization set up going forward.
Yeah, man, it's a good, and it's a big reason why I think they should go with a younger coach, just because they would fall in line with those expectations. They would understand the long-term view of it. If they bring in, like, let's say a Tomlin and John Harbaugh, it's kind of like rinse and repeat what the Raiders have been doing the last, like, I don't know how many years, like probably my entire fandom of the team, like reload. Like there's only been a couple times where I could point to and be like, okay, this was an actual rebuild.
And what happened afterwards?
I mean, good things.
Exactly.
Good things. I mean, from McKenzie, that 2014 draft.
2 years or 3 years later with McKenzie.
And then with Gruden, kind of I guess I guess we can call it like a mini rebuild. Same thing where if you trade away your best player and then your second best player, with Amari Cooper and Khalil Mack got first round picks or multiple picks for him. That's basically a rebuild. And then they were able to they should have gotten way better as a team, but they missed on all those picks, and which kind of scarred Raider fans. Is like every Raider fan will always remind you, like, oh, picks. I don't care about picks. That doesn't, there's no guarantee that you're going to get come on, bro. Sometimes it makes sense. But that's a whole different conversation. Max Crosby, man, just at the end of the day. But I don't even want to get into that. But
I'm doing the Drewski.
No, for sure, man. But we got another notable quotable. We got another quotable.
Yeah,
what we got?
One more notable quotable. This one of the guys from PFF. I believe that's where he's from. He actually has a Jets podcast, and obviously Jets are very interested in what's going on with the quarterbacks. And he said something very interesting. It's not a take I heard about what should happen with Fernando Mendoza or what he thinks the Raiders should do with Fernando Mendoza. It's interesting.
Mendoza's not a guy that should be thrown into the fire next year and expected to be a savior. Like, assuming the Raiders take him, I hope they put a better offensive line in front of him than what they have right now. You look at colleges develop quarterbacks too, right? It's not just NFL teams. You look at what Cignetti's built in Indiana, and it's the perfect example of like setting up players for success with development. Indiana can run the ball. They could work off play action. They could protect their quarterback. They have receivers that are so precise with their route running and make plays. And Mendoza is so locked in and so precise when he's given time. And he often is given a lot of time to drop back, decipher the defense, and rip throws.
Look, I'm not disagreeing with you saying, but I think that, like, and the Raiders are obviously they're in a process of like figuring that stuff out. And step one is obviously we keep talking about it. Everybody knows it. I think all Raider fans can all agree offensive line needs to be upgraded. We need to add some talent, starting with free agency. So we get that 100%. The other part of it is the weapons that we have on offense. We still got Brock Bowers on the roster. You know what I mean? Tucker is a nice little complimentary receiver, but I don't want him. I don't know if I feel comfortable with him being a starter. I would rather have I feel like I think we need an outside receiver or two.
Agreed.
Because Besh, we kind of look at him as more of a slot guy. So hopefully he develops, he gets more opportunity, he gets better as with another offseason. Dante Thornton, I don't know what to expect from him.
Mystery bag.
Yeah, bro. I don't know. Like, hopefully he takes, but it's like it just seems like he has a lot to work on. But man. Damn, would you be surprised if he gets cut?
I won't say surprised. Mildly surprised. Because
he doesn't.
I can see a situation where that happens, depending on what we do in free agency and the draft. Because the thing about Dante Thornton is that, as of right now, like the thing that what's so good about Mendoza and his receivers and in that offense is that it's timing, it's precision. He has a trust on where those guys will be, and he expects them to be there, and there's that mutual trust. And with Dante Thornton, it's an adventure every time he goes out on a route, and that's not conducive to a guy like Mendoza, who's precision. He's precise.
Yeah.
If it's a 7-yard out, bro, don't run that at 8. Don't run it at 6. Run it at 7. Be where you're supposed to be at. This is the first down marker right here, and I'm expecting you to be where you're supposed to be at. And I think that's important for a guy like Mendoza because he likes those kind of like timing routes. Like that's what he likes to do, especially on out routes. He was killing Oregon with those because if the guy's on time and you deliver an accurate ball, you can't defend that. You cannot defend it. And he's very accurate on those throws, and the timing he has with his receivers is on point. So if you got a guy like Thornton, it's like, bro, that's why I think Besh might actually do some things with Mendoza, because I think he's more of a precision player, where him and Mendoza will be on the same page, and he'll be where he's supposed to be at when he's supposed to be there. And he has strong hands. So I think he might actually do some things and make some strides with Mendoza.
Yeah, I hope so. I just think we just need, man, if there's a way, like if Denzel Boston, like I don't see him getting out of the first round, but let's say he's there, pick 31, 32.
Do we move up?
Raiders got to move up. The spy take got to get aggressive. I'm sorry.
We got 10 picks. We got 10 picks, so
we got to move it. Like we have 3 fourth-round picks.
Fourth round, you can do some work in the fourth round, though, man.
I know. But if bro, that's your number one receiver right there. That's basically your number one outside receiver. That's the reason why you make the move. You're like, hey, this is a guy that we could see being that number one guy. At the very least, being a high end number 2. But he fits exactly what Mendoza would take advantage. Like he loves those big wide receivers where he could throw those 50-50 balls, the back shoulder.
These big, tall wide receivers, huh? Damn. Damn. And you never really see those guys in the draft. That's also good at routes too, and that's got a big catch radius.
You set that one up.
Catch 50. Who? My goodness, who could that be?
Man,
I guess.
Yeah. My guy Smoke says, I believe our O-line would have not been as bad this past year had they put the players in right spots. Maybe the coaching was better. That's going to be another big thing too. Is like, we're talking about the head coach right now. We're talking about the offensive coordinator, but that offensive line coach, that's the elephant in the room. Like that needs to be on point, especially, with a lot of different with the running game. You know what I mean? If we want the running game to get better, we want the quarterback to get protected. We want the offensive line to develop and gel. Starts with that coaching. The coaching staff. LS with the super chat, man. Appreciate the super chat, my guy. He says, if you're investing in a QB at 1, you need to prioritize the offensive line and offense as a whole for his development. Don't care if the D is ranked 32nd. Yeah, bro. I'm not looking at it. I'm not looking at it from. I'm not looking at it as like the Raiders need to win the Super Bowl next year. They need to get to the playoffs next year. I'm looking at it like, all right, you're going to take a quarterback. We got to like prioritize his development. We got to protect, a huge asset for the Raiders' future in the quarterback. And we got to make sure he develops that confidence that you would want early on for him to have a long career. So you don't want him you don't want to put him in a situation to a lot of people's credit that are saying the Raiders why they shouldn't pick it is because, you know, they don't have an offensive line, and that's, you know, you throw them into the wolves and yada yada. I feel like the Raiders can obviously address the offensive line. They just need to go ahead and like execute that part of it, protect him. But I'll take it a step further, and like I have no problem if the Raiders take a wide receiver in the second round or even trade up into the first. If it's a guy that's like kind of falling like into the 25 to 32 range, you know what I mean? Like, but it has to be like specific, you know what I mean? And everybody else, that's probably the only guy that I'm even thinking about like that I would trade up, like is him. Just because he fits exactly what the Raiders need. He's exactly like, but you know. Oh man, that's funny.
I'm just saying, but I'm not saying. Yeah, man. Look, if you don't care about your defense being 32nd, well, there's a slightly used pass rusher that can, you know, that can slightly used. You know, they might go in the open market. So like, that's what I would do. Look, man. Like I know people will get sentimental and like, look, bro. Sorry, hey, appreciate you. Appreciate you, brother. I'm gonna give you the brother dap. I'm gonna give you the bring it in, bro. On the way out, bro. Let me get the bags for you too, man. We'll see you. You invited to the cookout, man. You ain't doing the potato salad.
That's hilarious.
So, like, hey, if I'm gonna do my quarterback the right way in his development, you gotta get those extra picks, man. You got, especially in a draft where you want to. There's not a lot of free agent wide receivers. You know, there's going to be not a lot of free agent linemen, so there's going to be competition. So those prices are going to be sky high.
Mm-hmm.
Like, man, address this via the draft. Address this via, and you already have ownership saying, like, look, bro, we don't think we can win. We don't think we can win for a few years. Now he did couch that later on, saying, look, I've seen teams turn it around in a year, yada yada. So he's always leaving that open for possibility. But he realistically, he's expecting a slow build, which I'm cool with, man. We've been losing for 20 years. Right? I'm good with a slow build, but like, bro, I'm not hanging on to this pass rusher that we're gonna have to make a decision on after next year if whether or not we want to extend him or not. Like, bro, trade this guy to somewhere that can make use of him now and get those assets back in return, and let's build this thing up for a quarterback.
Would you take Surratt in a second?
That's where he's gonna go. I mean, would I take him in a second? The thing about it is that we need some. That's the thing we like. The same. That's a problem I have with Boston too. Where it's like. I like him. I like his game. I think he's a damn good player, but it's like we need like some legit speed, you know, out of somebody that's above.
I don't think he's slow though. I don't think he's slow.
I think he's slow, but I don't think he's gonna take the top off a defense.
I think he's one of those guys who could get you downfield, but he would get you downfield with his 50-50.
Yeah, back shoulder.
Like back shoulder. I think he has good enough speed. I don't think it's like the wide, because it sounds like you're kind of describing him as like the receiver out of the Colts.
Pittman?
Yeah. I think he's.
I don't want to say Pittman.
I think he's more like
more
Drake
more
London.
Dunze.
Or Dunze.
Drake.
Dunze not. I don't think he's that. I don't think he's slow. He's not slow.
But he's like, it's like Devontae. I was always say like Devontae, where it's like Devontae can beat you, but if he gonna beat you, he gonna beat you off a release, you know, or a route. It's not gonna be has his athleticism or it's not gonna be a situation where they like, you know, they're putting their safeties back because they worried about, you know, this guy going deep on you. That's why I'm worried. Like, I think because we need to create some space for the underneath passing game, and obviously, you know, we need to create some space for Genty because, you know, like he's generational and he needs all this stuff for him. He needs all this stuff to be good. So we gotta have him. He needs all this space. So, you know, so I think, I mean, so obviously, you know, I think that like a lot of these moves, I think it not only helps our young quarterback, but it helps, you know, like we talk about offensive line. Not only does it help Mendoza, but it also helps Genty. You know, we get a deep threat at wide receiver. I think not only does that help, you know, Mendoza, you know, gives him a threat downfield, but I think it helps Bowers underneath. If we, you know, end up keeping Michael Mayer, it helps Michael Mayer underneath. I think it helps Genty as well. So I think like all these things are symbiotic. Like it's symbiotic. They help more than they help each other. So our offensive line is going to help our running back, and it's going to help our quarterback, and it's going to help those receivers because it could buy our quarterback more time. So, I mean,
if you want speed, we already have Tucker who got speed. We got Dante Thornton who has speed, or a guy that you're probably scared to take is Chris Brazell in the second.
Yeah, scared of Chris. It's Tennessee receivers, bro. Just in general.
Yeah, it's a little too risky.
Like
too risky. But you see what I'm saying when I say Chris Brazell though, like he looks way better than Dante Thornton coming out.
Yeah,
from
he's gonna be like the first though. Dante Thornton's like well, we thought Dante Thornton's gonna be a sixth or fifth, late fifth or sixth.
Yeah,
and well, I guess not.
You think Brazell's like a fourth rounder?
No. I think Brazell's like a second or first.
Yeah, it's just he scares me a little bit because of the Tennessee thing. Because the Tennessee receivers, I don't even know when's the last time a Tennessee receiver actually was
a beast.
Yeah,
I can't think of.
Jalen Hyatt showed some, but then he kind of fell off a little
early,
bit.
Then he fell all the way off.
Yeah, he fell off.
Same thing. Like he's all athleticism, so he doesn't run proper routes. He's all super. Like if you get him in like a open offense, or I think even if he got into like a Sean McVay type system, I think he'd do work.
You know who co-signed him though? That got me also believing in him a little bit, but I'm still kind of like a little Steve Smith.
Bro, co-signed Brazil.
Yeah, I'm gonna send you the clip. He was like, basically what sold him on Chris Brazell. I guess he was like breaking down a couple of routes. Like it was like, oh, okay, he got some skill. Like he got some savviness to his game. Like, but we'll see. It's not like this is like it was like one of those like early, breakdown of some of the receivers. We'll see what his final breakdown is of some of these guys, especially ahead of the draft. But when I was like, oh, Steve Smith is a Brazell guy. Okay, he's high on Boston too.
Okay.
He's high on Boston. He's high on he had Brazell. I forgot. What was another receiver? There's a couple other receivers that he liked too as well. But I'll send it to you once I get after this. But yeah, man. Look, if there's a good enough weapon out there, if there's a starting outside receiver, Surratt, man, in the third round. But damn, if it ain't the guys that I like personally, I'm like I'll go defense.
Yeah,
I'll go defense. I'll go defense second, third round for sure, like back to back. Because I feel. Well, if they pick up a tackle and they pick up Linderbaum, and then Rodgers is starting.
So that's Meredith gone, Rodgers starting, and then who's the other guard though?
So the center would be Linderbaum would be
keep JPJ.
JPJ would be a guard, and then they have Rodgers at the other guard spot, and then it'll be a tackle competing with Charles Grant at right tackle and Glaze.
I don't know if I like JPJ at guard that much though, to be honest with you.
Oh, you like him better at center?
I like him better at center. He likes it better at center too. I think that's where he played his best. Like he played his best at center.
Yeah, but then he didn't have good coaching though.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, good coaching. Yeah, good coaching. But then it's like, damn, like Linderbaum, if you have a chance to get him, like, and he's like the best offensive lineman available, like, let's not play around, bro.
Yeah.
Just.
Yeah. If that's the case, you almost got it. I mean, you do what you got to do at that point.
Yeah.
JPJ. But yeah.
And it's kind of ugly the way the Raiders have kind of handled JPJ. Is like they keep moving him.
Yeah.
That's gonna mess up his career. Like if you keep moving a player and not have him settle at one position, like how is he gonna get better?
Yeah.
So that's the thing, man. So that's why I'm like, just keep him at right guard. Just it would be nice to have him at center, but right now the way this offseason is working out, and we could, legit like have a chance to get in like a top, arguably the best center in football, You know what I mean? Like, or are at least top 3.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to overpay, do what you got to do, get him, and then like, all right, JPJ at guard is not too bad. Okay, Rodgers showed some flash, but this is where it kind of gets tricky. That you might have to get some another guard. Man, you gotta. Whew, man, the Raiders got so much needs. Like,
Yeah. And then like, what do you do with Charles Grant? You know, like, so he played on the left. He played on left side. He obviously talented. You know, you see, like last game was basically flawless. You know, even though it was against like second, third stringers, but it was, you know, it was a flawless game. You know, so
yeah.
like, what do you try to switch him to right tackle? Do you keep him at left tackle behind Colton? Like,
yeah, that's I'm saying a tackle and center, because there's some slightly above average to average tackles available. The above average and elite.
Braden Smith?
Yeah. Like, he's like slightly above average. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not going to hype him up or whatever, but he played well this year for the Colts. But prior to that, like, he was hurt. So there's a little bit of that. So I don't know if like Spike Tech is going to be willing to throw the bag at Braden Smith, because he kind of stays away from guys with injury. Or he won't invest too much. It got to be like a team friendly deal with those types of guys. But we'll see. I mean, he has $100 million like available, and you're gonna draft a quarterback high. Like, he has to prioritize the offensive line, like, straight up.
Yeah.
But the only reason why I'm like back-to-back picks defense, because obviously they can address the front 7.
Yeah.
The first, second round, and then the third round, you could probably grab the way the linebacker class is looking, you could probably grab a starting caliber linebacker in the third.
Yeah, but I mean, I think they're going to bring at least one of those guys back. They got to, because you can't create that many holes in your team, and try to fill them all via free agency.
Stokes,
and I think they think they should bring Stokes back too. I mean,
I'm just thinking of the guys that they got to bring back. Stokes. Did they bring back Devin White back?
Probably not.
But
I think they do bring back a Landon. I think there's a possibility they bring back a Landon.
Atlanta is just replaceable. He's just whatever, bro. He's not even like something that you don't even want to talk about.
Yeah, but but I also don't think he'll cost a whole bunch of money. I think he comes down, in the run game, and I think he's physical in the run game. Is he a liability in coverage? Yeah, but I think he's better in the run game than Devin White is. And I think he's about as much of a liability in coverage. But I think he's a little bit more instinctual. I think he's also like a little bit more of a leader. So I think, I think it'd be less expensive too. So Devin White, he's one of the league leader in tackles. He might get the feeling himself and want a little bit more money than he should get.
Maybe, but then at the same time, like, he was more around the ball a little bit better. Then that's the one thing I would say, like, that he made a lot more plays. Like, he had sacks, he had like fumbles, there was a lot of flash. I understand like the other stuff, and we can sit here and talk about like, yeah, Devin White ain't. But if he comes back on the cheap, and
I wouldn't mind. Yeah, if it's a reasonable deal, I wouldn't mind it.
And then you just start drafting replacements or guys that you can develop, and they can probably contribute not year 1 but year 2.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, in a later round. So like in the third round, you probably could draft like 1 linebacker, but I'm sure like what we're talking about, like, it's 2 linebackers. So maybe you draft another linebacker, or maybe Eichenberg, one of the Eichenbergs.
Eichenberg played solid down the stretch. If you put him in the right defense, I think he can develop. I don't know, like, is he a starting caliber player, like a full-time starter? I don't think so, but I think he'll be like a rotational piece you can put in there.
Damn, I'm not gonna lie, at free safety too. I don't know how early you would consider like taking a ball hawking free safety. Like, if there's one available in a second, not gonna lie, it's kind of tempting.
Yeah, it is tempting, but see.
But Xavier Watts was there in the 4th for the Falcons, so like there's a situation that
we didn't take him.
Yeah,
Bowman was another guy I liked. He was safety and the nickel corner, and we didn't take him either. And Yeah, but we got higher priorities than that, though. We got higher priorities than that.
Just Be Strong says Zamir gone, Tyree stepped up, Stokes.
Tyree did not step up. Stop the cap, bro. Like, he has one game, good, like not even really a great game. He had two unblocked sacks. One of the sacks, the running back literally pushed him into a safety. Like the running back literally chipped him and gave him a better angle at getting the safety. Like he did not have and this is against third, fourth stringers. I think one of the guys that was out there, a tackle, was actually like their backup guard or something like that. Like it was not NFL caliber play you saw. Like don't let this nonsense fool you.
Yeah, Tyree, man. I want to believe in Tyree, but it's just, come on, bro. Was his year 4, year 5? Like, come on. He's going into his 4th year? Like, at this point, like, if whatever we can get out of Tyree is a plus at this point. I think he has 1 year left. I don't think the Raiders are going to extend him and give him they're not going to pick up that 5th year option. So next year is going to be like his last year with the team, or at least his last year before he heads into free agency. I think at this point we can only hope that he could just be a role player and does his job. But even that, like, you kind of seen like this coaching staff, and he's going to have another coaching staff that he's going to play with that he has to prove himself to. But this coaching staff, they lost a lot of confidence in him. Even in a 2 or 3 and 13 year, like he lost confidence.
Bro, this is the 3rd consecutive year.
Yeah.
Bro, he's losing snaps consistently to Snowden. Snowden getting more run than this dude. Snowden coming off a DUI, bro. Come on, like God.
Yeah.
It's a wrap for Tyree, bro. He's just not. He might go somewhere else and salvage his career, but as long as he's with the Raiders, he's always going to be seen as the 7th overall pick, the guy taking in front of Jalen Carter. He has to leave this organization and go somewhere else, and hopefully he can flourish. It's like Caleb Von Chasen.
Yeah. Honestly, the Raiders could actually consider taking someone opposite Max in the 2nd round. You know what I mean? Or even trade up and get a guy. You know what I mean? The way it's looking like, but I don't know. It's kind of hard to like see who's gonna be there. But like, bro, who's the starter opposite Max Crosby? It's kind of been a problem his whole career, pretty much. No one really consistently can step up. Yeah.
Small sample size of Coons. Other than that, it's been an issue.
So I'm thinking front 7 in the 2nd. Like someone like in that front 4, whether it's a pass rush and D tackle, or maybe if like this coaching staff, that's the thing. It's a new coaching staff, so I already know that they're not going to know. They're going to probably they're probably going to want a guy that fits their scheme, and it's just going to be a lot of. It's hard to really figure out who the Raiders are going to take, because it's good that Spytek is there because at least he knows the roster, but then at the same time it's going to be a brand new coaching staff. He says Stokes probably another year. Devin is solid tackler. Need a lot of Devin. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not gonna hype up Devin White. He's kind of a lot of flash, but no substance. No substance.
And teams, part of the reason he gets so many tackles is because teams were like picking on him in coverage too. Like it was just it was him and Caillou all day.
And they would make a lot of mistakes. Like it's just bro. It is what it is. 4 Graphics says hot take: Stokes deserves a 2-year deal minimum, but we still need another corner. Move Darian Porter from OK outside back to the slot. Ooh, nah.
It depends on the system you're running, but I think Porter was smooth and smooth outside. I mean, I think, but that's the thing though, man. Like we drafted Porter and Stokes, but those guys are kind of cover 3 guys. Like those longer, tall corners that can kind of, they get in phase and they can, break up passes with their long arms. Like if we go to a different system, does Stokes even fit? He might be gone. And then what do they do with Porter? Obviously he's a draft pick, so they doubt if they get rid of him, but how will they deploy him? Like that's a big question mark.
Yeah, but then I also kind of see Stokes as kind of like I feel like he can play man to man better than he could play zone right now. So maybe you could project him a little bit more. I don't know about Stokes. Stokes, maybe you might have a point with him.
I'm a Porter.
I mean, yeah, Porter. But Stokes, maybe you might have a point with him. But I feel like Porter, he just like hit. Like I think coming in, like I think that might be his strength. Like he could stick with his guy. But like I don't know if he's good in. I'm not sure if he's good in zone right now. Like that was like. I think that's the reason why he wasn't on the field a lot. Like I think it's because they didn't trust him as a tackler. They didn't trust him.
Yeah.
And
I think they didn't trust him as a tackler because I mean, from the reports were that Ja'Cory Bennett was our best zone corner or best cover man corner, but then they traded him obviously for a plethora of reasons, right? You know, for
health. I'll say health, and then like in the height, his height, yeah.
Height. Yeah, but,
and like as a tackler too.
He's not really a zone corner. Yeah.
And you could question him as a tackler too. Because if they wanted to move him in the slot, they couldn't really trust him to be that spot, especially if they expected like the guy in the slot. Especially in today's NFL, like defenses are nickel a lot, so they got to stop the run, and the nickel corner got to tackle. So, and I'm not gonna lie, like man, what has he done with the
Not a dang on thing.
With the Eagles?
Not a damn thing. But
hey, did he still have that ugly number? He had like a crazy number with them.
I don't remember. I think he got cooked his last game though. Like he played terribly. But Vic Fangio, bro, Vic Fangio runs a different scheme. So like if you playing the Vic Fangio defense, like you know it's there's different kind of expectations there.
Yeah, and then he didn't have like an off season to prepare. You know what I mean? Like this is one of them tough situations.
He's been hurt a bunch too. So.
Yeah,
because early on he was doing well. Like
Yeah.
early on, people were like, "Oh my God, he's gonna be." I want him to start. They wanted him to start over old boy from USC. Damn, what's my guy's name?
Dory Jackson.
Dory Jackson. Yeah, they wanted him to start over Dory Jackson early on.
Yeah,
And then like he started getting hurt, and he came back, and he was getting flambéed. So
yeah, yeah, man. We'll see, man. We'll see what happens. Because is this his last year? Is this his last year on his rookie deal? Or I think he had one more year. Ja'Cory.
Oh, I think he's the same class as Tyree, so I think he should have one more year.
Oh yeah. No, but he doesn't have. Oh yeah. Yep, you're right.
He doesn't have a fifth-year option. Tyree does, but Tyree fifth-year option ain't getting picked up, bro. He's a wrap for him too, bro. He might not make it past. He might not make it past his offseason. To be honest with you.
Yeah, no, it's a wrap for him, man. But we're not done yet, man. We got what's real, what's not. Severe. What's the what's real, what's not statement?
What's real, what's not for today. So bear with me, guys. This is a little bit of a longer one. Has some little bit of a setup, but here we go. Last season, most head coaching hires happened around January 24th. The latest was Kellen Moore, who was hired on February 11th, which was 2 days after helping the Eagles win the Super Bowl. This year, the Super Bowl is February 8th. Do the Raiders make a hire, or do the Raiders wait until after that game to make a hire?
Last year, they announced the hiring. You said January 24th, and you're saying. So what's the statement? Is this a question or is it a statement? It sounded like you. It was
the Raiders. Let me make a statement. So the Raiders will wait until after that game to make a hire. So they wait until after February 8th, which is Super Bowl, to make a hire.
Is that real or is it not? I am gonna say, Clint Kubiak has me thinking a little bit. And then, and then the Rams too had me thinking a little bit too. So that is dependent on that. Yeah. The two candidates that I know the Raiders are looking at that they've requested and they also interviewed. I'm gonna say, damn. I'm gonna say not real. Not real. So they're gonna announce the hiring before the Super Bowl. I'm gonna say not real. Not real. I think because I'm sure the Raiders are going to want to hire their coach so they can start putting together the staff. Because it's a competitive advantage. Right now, no, there hasn't been any announcement on who's been hired yet because there's been so many candidates and it's been so many teams that are like interviewing. They're actually, I'm not gonna lie, a lot of teams, they're kind of like, it's been a thorough interview process. Like they've been interviewing a lot of different candidates. Yeah. But whoever kind of hires their candidate first, whoever hires their head coach first, they're gonna have a leg up because now they're gonna start contacting, putting together some staff. So I feel like the Raiders, I'm sure they're probably gonna look at that too. So I'm gonna say not real. I think the Raiders announced the hiring before the Super Bowl. Not real. But it can go either way though, because if they say it's Clint Kubiak and the Seattle Seahawks find a way to get Super Bowl coming out of NFC, or your guy LaFleur, Mike LaFleur, or Chris Shula, to whoever they identify as head coach, because it's still, both are kind of solid situations. Because either way, the OC is going to be LaFleur
or
slash
Shoelace.
Yep.
Or if they like Shoelace, they can.
That's a crazy last name. His Shoelace.
I don't know. I don't know what the hell is it. I don't know what it is. I just call it for Shoelace, right? I don't even try to say it. I just call him Shoelace.
Oh, that's wild, bro.
But I'm gonna go not real as well, and I think much to your point, I think they want to get a jump on this process, and I think that if it's close between Kubiak and LaFleur, whoever becomes available first will be the guy they kind of push to make the hire with.
Yeah.
And if their hand is forced, then obviously their hand is forced if they have to wait. But I don't think they want to leave it to fate. I think they want to, be in control of the process. And I think they want to get a jump on things early. And I think they, Spytech, I'm pretty sure he's itching to get with this head coach to kind of identify who they're going to take in this draft, especially having 10 picks. Then it also kind of speeds up the clock on, okay, what's your decision on Max Crosby? Because, you want your head coach obviously to be, and probably owner Tom Brady, Mark Davis be a part of that process as well. But your head coach got to be read in on that too. So, like what kind of ammunition you go into this draft with, I think that could hinge on what our head coach decides on Max Crosby or his input on Max Crosby.
I bet you if it's a defensive head coach, he's going to be like, oh, yeah, we're keeping Max. Like, you know what I mean? He's going to be probably pro Max. Offensive is going to be like, oh, nah, I need.
Yeah.
Because he needs to he wants to rebuild that offense in his
image.
Yep, pretty much. Some people saying no. Let's see. Coach says, who's Shoelace?
I think it's Scholastic or something like that.
Scholastic. Slammin says Marcus Freeman is having a press conference. It's his first presser since they were snubbed out the playoff.
Yeah.
So
I don't think he's going to go.
Yeah, but some people kind of been floating his name in the NFL. Like, it'd be crazy though if he went to the Ravens or I think the Ravens and Steelers jobs, those jobs are going to be highly coveted for different reasons.
Yeah. The
stability. Like a coach is going to look there. I'm like, I'm going to be able to coach there.
Bro.
Like the
20 years on but these both guys 20 years. Bro.
Oh, the Steelers though. Steelers number one. Got to be number one.
Oh yeah, Steelers number one for sure.
And their best.
They've had 4 coaches since 1960.
Yeah. Job security.
We've had 6.
Yep.
Since 2001 or 2021, something like that. It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's gonna be interesting to see who they eventually hire. I think, but I feel like their biggest selling point is bro, we're gonna stand behind you. We're gonna give you time. We're gonna do things right. So job security basically is gonna be the biggest thing. The Raiders for sure is having top of the line facilities, brand new stadium, all the extra flashy stuff, the number one pick. But job security for sure is that's where the money's probably gonna have to go up. They're gonna,
for sure.
you're gonna have to pay. You're gonna have to pay guys a little bit more.
Yeah, for sure. We paying Pete Carroll 15. That's ridiculous, bro.
Man,
Ridiculous.
that is wild. Just Raiders Baby says, I hope it's LaFleur, Kubiak, 1A, 1B. Yeah, but those Rams could easily be in the Super Bowl. You know, Seahawks could easily be in the Super Bowl. If that's the case, then, you know, Raiders could possibly wait until after the Super Bowl, which is going to be tough. 3 coaches should be Raiders. Tomlin, Harbaugh, or John Gruden. Ah, man, OG, man, we gotta let. Sorry, bro. Can't do it, man. Can't do it, man. Let's keep it in the past. Some of the guys you mentioned, like, there's not really a problem with them. It's just the Raiders are not in the place to hire them. To be honest with you.
Yeah. And then Gruden going, like, last time he was here, he wanted control and all this stuff. I don't think that's happening.
Hey, LS, I'm with you, bro. I've been seeing that. That's kind of interesting. Side lot to Pittsburgh. I've been seeing that.
That's interesting.
That'd be an interesting little spot for them.
That mean they got to get rid of A-Rod, though.
Oh, yeah. He's done. A-Rod's done, bro. He's done. It's over. I mean, I don't see him coming back. Like, why would he? He's done, bro. He's not the same player. On top of that, like he went to the Steelers and he was one and done. Like, he's had his issues. Oh, did you hear the shot that he threw at the Jets?
Who?
A-Rod?
Salah? A-Rod? No, what do you say?
Like, they were talking to him about, like, you know, his season. Oh man, it's been a pleasure to work with the 2 classy organizations. You know what I mean? In Pittsburgh and who's the other team he played for? Was it Pittsburgh and Green Bay. But he didn't mention the Jets. It's like a sneak diss, like, you know.
Sure.
Just it is what it is. Don't Brady own half the Vegas though? He doesn't own half of Vegas. That'd be crazy. Yeah, man. But we appreciate everybody coming through. Make sure to clock in, hit this like button, hit that like button, hit that subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Man, we up out of here, man. It's that time. But realistically, pick one will cost us $45 million. Probably worth it. Yeah, for sure. I was actually surprised that A-Rod let his last pass ever be a pick 6. I would have gone back out there, at least gotten a completion.
Yeah, the Texans start putting belt to ass. Like, it started to get spooky.
Yeah, nah, for sure, man. Yeah, but yeah, at this point, man, clock out, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Great show, great conversation, man. We're gonna have more of that later this week on Around the Shield. Make sure to check us out this Thursday. Hopefully we'll have a guest for y'all and we'll be able to chop it up like we did last week. We had a great conversation, man. Shout out to Ray coming through and you know, chopping it up with us. And I know, man, you and Ray, man, was going back and forth, man.
Yeah. Man.
To opposite ends of the spectrum, man. I know you pro Moore. I know he's pro Mendoza, pro Genty, and pro and you obviously you've been pretty adamant about how much against you were of not the player Genty, just more so to picking Genty at number 6.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, hey, definitely check out the replay, man, if you missed it, man. But definitely check out the replay. Severe, man, let the people know where they can find you, what to look forward to, all that good stuff.
You guys know what it is, man. The Severe Raider here on YouTube, IG, X, TikTok, Snapchat, everywhere. The Severe Raider. Holla at me, man. Sundays and Wednesdays in the Raider War Room with Chris from Protect the Shield and 805 Raider. Obviously, Tuesdays and Thursdays, the 50-50 show and Around the Shield with my guy, PharoahNFL. If you haven't done so already, make sure y'all like the video. Make sure y'all, subscribe to both of our channels. And if it's after the video, man, hype the video. Send this to other people if you enjoyed the content today. Hopefully they get some enjoyment out of it as well, man. When y'all like and hype, that really goes a long way toward helping push our content and algorithm, man. So it would be much appreciated.
LS, you missed it, bro. Minted one last week, man. He got his hat. I actually got to set him up too as well with his hat. He got a dope hat too from was it like one of those the Culture Kings?
Culture King hat.
Yeah, man, it was pretty nice, man. So I wonder what his second hat's gonna be, but yeah, man, Mint won the NFL picks competition. We might open it up. We're gonna try to see if we can open it up where we can get people involved into it. So we're gonna find a way to make it more interactive, where everybody can just be involved in NFL picks. So, but yeah, we'll just stay tuned for that. That's obviously gonna be next season. We'll be back here next week on 50/50 show every Tuesday. But obviously this week around the Shield, don't want to miss it. Well, hopefully we'll have a guest to chop it up and have a good conversation. Follow us all over social media. Obviously the Severe Raider, myself, PharoahNFL. Subscribe to our both our YouTube channels, and also follow Around the Shield all over social media, including IG and X, man. Definitely give a follow for the latest news, memes, podcast clips, all that good stuff, man. You'll find it there on Around the Shield on IG and on X. I'll look into a group pick'em thing. Oh yeah, man. If you have some ideas, man, definitely hit us up, bro. Yeah, we'll try to see if we can incorporate that into the show, man. Because I know you were. What was your final record, LS? Let us know your final record.
Yeah, LS was cooking. I know he was cooking.
Yeah, he was. He had a good record. I mean, I think he might have lied a couple of weeks, but you know, we're just gonna keep that. I'm messing with you. I'll try not to be a hater, and Raiders end up hiring Stefanski.
We hired Stefanski. Oh, but I'm gonna be probably.
I think Genty would be happy.
Oh, Genty would be happy, I think, yeah.
But man, I'm not gonna lie, it wouldn't be an exciting hire, because I'm thinking, like, with the number one pick, you're gonna risk it with a guy that, to be honest with you, has he ever developed a QB?
I can't think of it off the top of my head. I can't think of it. I cannot think of it on the top of my head.
You know, I'm just saying, bro. Like, when is he? I mean, he's had veterans come in and maybe have semi-production. You know, Joe Flacco. But come on, man. Yeah. We got to go young coach. Yep, 209, man. You already know. Man. Hey, our chat, bro, is one of ones, man. 198, 73, and 1. Damn, you would have won.
Yeah, he would have won, yeah.
You would have won. Damn, that's crazy. That's a crazy record. All right, bro. I fell apart last 2 weeks. Yeah, I thought Mint was gonna fall apart the last couple weeks, but he kind of finished strong and he held off at the very end. Coach says before we on our way out, he says, Severe, would you pick Moore if he played like he did against Indiana again?
I don't deal in hypotheticals, Coach. Would you pick Mendoza if he played like Moore did on Friday? Like, these weird hypothetical questions. I told you who's my number one quarterback. Like, that's who my number one quarterback is, based on a plethora of things. You have your number one, I got my number one. So, don't come back in here if Mendoza plays bad and crying, or if he plays well, then man, he stamped himself. But like, I don't want to hit like this him and hard. Like,
Yeah, that's it. Also, hey, Raider Nation, definitely check out National Championship game next Monday. That's gonna be a big game. If you guys are big Mendoza guys, you wanna have another reason or another view of Mendoza at quarterback playing against a good team in Miami. I want to see how he deals with pressure, because I feel like Miami might be able to get to the quarterback with their front four. So that's going to be interesting to see. We'll see how he handles it, because everybody's kind of like pretty adamant, like, all right, man, he's questionable when he gets pressure. Does he have a good feel? But that's every quarterback, bro. Like, come on, like,
that's how you beat good quarterbacks, so you pressuring them.
And
the thing is that no team has really been able to pressure him, though. Like, very few teams have really gotten to him. So maybe you say that, is he the same level of efficient when he is? He's not going to be the same level of efficient, but how does he? Does he break all the way down, or does he keep like some modicum of success? That's a better question, because nobody plays as well under pressure as they do when they're not. It's like, that's every.
No, and then like someone was like, well, when he gets pressured up the middle, every quarterback is going to struggle. That's why like guys like Aaron Donald, Warren Sapp, any like of the top elite pass D tackles that get after the quarterback, they're so valuable because like once you kind of pressure a quarterback up the middle, like it doesn't matter if you're Michael Vick, it doesn't matter if you're like Lamar Jackson, you're gonna struggle. You're not gonna be as accurate. You're not gonna be as comfortable in the pocket. You know what I mean? Because you can't step up. You can't step up, and it makes it easier for guys on the outside to get after you because now you're not even gonna step up in the pocket. You're gonna be more likely to get outside the pocket, and I think that it makes it easier for the pass rushers to get at you. LS says there's not a QB who hasn't succumbed to pressure. Now, facts, but I do want to see how he responds to it. How he how he's able to like deal with adversity. Like, all right, he's getting pressured. Okay, how are you gonna combat it? You know what I mean? Are you gonna get the ball? Sometimes, like for example, this is my problem with Geno Smith. Like, I understand he was getting pressured, he was getting sacked, but it felt like his internal clock, never sped up. Like, oh, hey, I need to get the ball out of my hands. Like, I got to get out of quick. It just seems like he just would hold the ball each and every time. But some other quarterbacks, guys who like, okay, I know that this whatever D line is getting after the offensive line, I'm gonna get the ball out of my hands, and I'm gonna try to like pick my spots and where I can take shots. The good ones do that. The good quarterbacks, it feels like they play this. They deal with it strategically.
It's a balance because you don't want it to get sped up too much, before you lose opportunities downfield.
Yeah.
So that's why like.
Yeah.
Geno held it on for too long sometimes, but sometimes like if a play, sometimes it takes plays longer to develop, or if you got a guy that can't run routes or guys that can't separate, well then
it's true.
It's hard. It's so that makes a difference. But that's when your play caller. That's when it's their job to let me run some of the short stuff. But then they start packing the middle of the field and you can't run the ball. So it makes it tough. It makes it tough. But yeah, his clock, it was just a tick too slow.
Yeah.
And like I said, we haven't seen Fernando deal with that consistently because he's usually like they're pretty good at their first the design of the offense is really good. The design of the offense is really good. They run the RPO game to put lots of stress on defenses. They're able to run the ball. And Fernando is really good at, hey, you know what? If it's not there, I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna get something. Like he's not going to stay back there and just wait and wait. Like if it's not there, bang. We saw him do it against Oregon a few times. Okay, it's not there, bam. I'm getting something.
Yeah.
Like Denzel said, I'm leaving here with something.
Right. Nah, facts, man. But hey, man, we'll be back here later this week around the Shield, man. Make sure to clock out on the way out. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe, hit that notification bell, man. Any last words before we head out, Severe?
Yeah, man. Hey, make sure y'all tap in, man, on Thursday around the Shield. Hey, we coming at you guys. Hopefully, with a fire guest, another fire show. Great debate last week with my guy Raider Ray, and he was very gracious in defeat, so I appreciate him for that.
He's gonna listen to playback, man. He's gonna listen to playback. He's gonna get at you, man. But hey,
Raider Ray knows his stuff, man.
Yeah, for sure, man. But we appreciate y'all, man. We'll see y'all this Thursday, man. Peace.